We're live, and I'm just staring at this thing.
That's par for the course.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Hi, everybody. While I sit here and get confused every single week, thank you so much for coming and watching our Monday Night Trial live stream. It's great to have you all here. I'm excited for this one. We're doing Spawn.
Oh, wait. I have a script I have to read. Hey, guys. I know you're really happy for Spawn, but tonight, instead, we're going to draw a different monster. Isaac's new pony. So, Dave, get to it. I just want you to know that's scripted by Isaac.
Now, that's not happening.
Get at the paper. We're drawing monster.
But yeah, he put. You know what? Here. There we go.
How do you? And Patches is already part of the stream.
And he's smiling. I can't draw a smiling horse. It doesn't even look like he's smiling. There's your horse.
I don't know what that looks like because my computer.
Nobody else says to. I'm looking at it up here, and it doesn't even show up.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's draw Spawn.
Okay, great.
Maybe it's good that your picture didn't work. We'll draw a horse another time.
Yeah,
That's what I've been talking about all week. So
hey, Alec Bear's here. Good to see you. Hey, Alpatrino. I was actually a little bit more on the ball this week. I wasn't, fighting with everything so much. So I sat and I was, answering chat a little bit, which was kind of nice.
Oh.
I'm sitting here with nothing else to do and people are chatting. And we have no guests this week, so I can just get right in there and start drawing. And
I'm not Slurp Chat. I'm actually me this week.
Oh, you actually are Meredith?
It's so funny because last week Dave's like, I really need to talk to Eric because somebody in the stream was on the stream last week is David Finch. I'm like, yeah, that was me. I just go whatever like YouTube I'm logged in as is how I go on because I just go on the stream. I don't think about it. Oh, and I realized halfway through that I was you.
Just let you guys know.
Auto banned. Meredith is going to be auto banned with this kind of joke. Says Rike Inglaze 123.
I feel like I should show this more often.
What?
I never show so every time I start, I always draw a little layout, and now I'm making a mess with my camera. Anyway, hopefully you guys can see it among all my tools that I've got beside my drawing. But that's my layout for this one. You can see how crappy my layouts are. They're a total mess, but they're just enough for me to kind of have an idea of what I'm looking to do. So there it is.
So Wayne Blackman has a super chat for $2. Wayne says, cool with a little dancing emoji, which I love.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Wayne. I appreciate it.
And Kevin Mandevil, so funny, says, so we're having Spawn riding a horse of death.
Actually.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Why did we not have Kevin on before? Like, why were we not talking to Kevin for that awesome idea?
I've been studying.
Made both of us happy.
I've been studying, not actually so much horses, more cats, but I have really been working on my animal anatomy because they just fit for what I'm drawing a lot lately. They just anatomically, it kind of works. So that's what I've been doing.
Alpin wants to know, David Finch, how many coffee cups you got down there right now?
Yeah, no, I saw that. I actually already responded to Alpin.
3.
I said, yes,
so
3.
You told him 3.
And you can confirm, right? Do that for me.
And the $20, because I think we talked about this last week. We had the cleaning lady come in, who is awesome. She'll never listen to the stream, but she's awesome.
She really is.
And so the $20 is not on the floor. It's now on Dave's desk.
I talked to her a little bit this week.
Oh my gosh, you talked to her?
Yep.
Stop it. You talked to a human being outside of your wife?
Anyway, and she rides a Harley 883.
Oh my gosh, stop. Like she drives it or rides it?
Drives it. Right. Nobody says drives it, but it's her own. And her husband has I think she said an 81 Panhead.
Gosh. Our cleaning lady is never allowed to leave anymore. You're in love.
If anybody knows motorcycles and Panhead is in 1981, I'm going to get, but so an older one. And he's got I want to say a Street Glide. It's not a Street Glide. It's like one above that.
You drawn
anyway.
Now,
yeah. Oh, I'm drawn. So yeah, I thought that was very cool. We talked motorcycles a little bit. And she actually, hilarious. I always take a route with a buddy of mine. He's got a motorcycle too. We try and get out as much, and actually we've been out quite a bit lately because the weather's been nice. Anyway, we're out now, if you don't know the area, but it's just about an hour ride out along the water to Kingsville. There's a little Tim Hortons there. I can't, go get a beer or something. Would not be responsible on a motorcycle. Not allowed
to ride his bike.
And so yeah, we go get coffee.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say. When the kids are grown and out of the house, you want to go kill yourself on a motorcycle, driving drunk, go nuts.
I'm really not all that big on beer anyway. So I think you're good, but
I'm just saying, while the kids are like till at home and I have to deal with them too.
Anyway, point being, we go get coffee. And right, no, actual point being, she goes to the same place. So maybe at some point I'll see
them
like
there.
It's a
motorcycle thing here.
It is, yeah.
I think whatever city you go to, there's like a place like there were motorcyclists. Is that the right word?
Yes. Amazingly.
Hang out. Meredith had the right word.
So I am drawing. Actually, this spawn is. I don't know if it's the most current one, but it's the one that I associate most with Greg Capullo. So you know,
is
that's
this the
what
one
I'm
that
doing.
you drew when?
Actually, it is.
When you got inked by the great Todd McFarlane.
Yes. By the way, I got inked by Todd McFarlane. So you know.
There you go.
Which I got inked by Todd McFarlane for that spawn cover, which was incredible. I mean, you know, it was amazing to see, and he is. You really, I mean, you appreciate his art for his art, but just seeing what he could do with my artwork was amazing. So he said, you know, draw it a little looser, don't put all that rendering and all that detail in there, and I'll do that for you. And you know, I don't think he well, I know he does not like it when a penciler really gets overly detailed because it makes it so that he can't really put his own stamp on it without having to fight what you did, you know?
Just fair.
Yeah, some of the stuff he did.
That's not the way you penciled.
It's not. So it was a struggle, and he was. I thought
trying to be like.
I left all of the rendering. I left a lot out of there, and I thought, oh, hey, we're good, you know. But he was still a little frustrated. It was still a little too tight. So maybe one day we'll be able to do it again.
I'm sure. Maddie's on the stream.
Hi, Maddie.
Everybody say hi to Maddie. Maddie says, Dave and Meredith, I can't stay, but I love your art. So inspiring. And I bet everybody here agrees with me. So keep up the great work. Hope to see you soon.
Well, thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie, for coming every week. You're the best.
I'm looking forward to summer, you know, when Maddie can actually stay for the show.
I know, when she can stay up.
That's a long way away
Christmas
now,
vacay.
though. There you go.
It's coming.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe we should do like, there's never a Monday PA day. That's the problem. Even if it was like a holiday Monday, people still have to get up on Tuesday.
Yeah. We did pick Monday. The problem, and this is the problem, right?
It works. You got to do what works. I could not do Sunday.
And this is the problem. You know, as much as
I
don't feel like Monday is the ideal for, you know, some things.
Monday is the start of the work week.
Unfortunately, it's ideal. Yeah, we can actually do it. So, and I do think there are probably people that watch the stream also that have things going on.
We have to look at the fact that we're helping people start their week on a good note. Wow.
It's a very bold statement.
It is, but I've had a few people say Monday's my favorite night of the week. So I'm going to just state that as a fact for at least 5 of the, 500 people who watch the stream.
All right.
There you go.
So
5 out of 500. I don't even care if that's 0.01% talk.
So I have a pretty long list of characters that you guys have requested to draw, and I'm excited to draw all of them, and they're all, coming at some point or other. Spawn was not first on that list, truthfully, but I decided, you know what? I really wanted to draw Spawn, and there was a point where I didn't say to heck with you.
To heck with you.
But I really wanted to draw Spawn. So yeah, it kind of got, and I'm looking at it like that. Like I can't just do, this week is this because that's when it came up. I'm going to go through the list in an order that makes sense to,
I feel like it's okay because Greg L. Static Art has a super chat for $2. And Greg says, drawing Spawn? Nice. I'm pretty sure is Greg our Gambit guy?
No, that's...
Greg was the guy you did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, our Gambit guy is Wolverine.
What?
He did our stream. Right.
Oh, right.
With
right,
Tony,
right.
And yeah, he had a whole...
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm sorry. Now I'm just like, I just offended somebody on the stream.
You did?
I shouldn't open my mouth.
I'm sure he's...
Pizza Monster Art says your cleaning lady is metal as hell.
She is, yeah.
She must be, and you would never guess it for looking at her. It's so funny because the first she's very petite, and the first day she came to the house, Eve basically looked her in the eye. The Irish Wolfhound tilted her head slightly, and she was like, "Hey, how's it going?"
I had reference here. I hate to... There he is. It's Wolverine. You see him there?
Well,
it's Charlie Parks.
Okay, thank you.
I got to stop calling him Wolverine. For one time he wears a costume, and now he's Wolverine forever.
He's not Wolverine. His name is Charlie, Dave. It's Charlie.
He's Wolverine.
All right. I got to make sure I get the chats because the stream is blipping for me. So the next super chat comes from Michael Johnson Curry. Good evening, Michael. Michael has a super chat for $4.99. Michael says, I've been told to get my work out there more, and I've been posting my full GNs online. Some have said this is too much. What's a good rate or amount? What is a GN?
Graphic novel.
Okay.
How is it that you don't know that?
I don't know. I'm not, like, when I text full sentences, people.
Unacceptable.
I use commas. I use punctuation. I have to decipher. I'm not good with the license plate game.
Yeah.
It's not how my brain works. I'm sorry. So, Michael, I have to be honest. I don't know that, like, why not post your full graphic novel out there if you're not selling it? Or your alternative is to post the first chapter.
Well, what I would say is post it all, because there are people that are really going to want to see everything and enjoy it, and then post highlights also. Yeah. You know, and just
pick the best pages from it.
Yeah, and basically
or the best panel.
You know, pick your favorite pages and put them into like a special gallery, just of
you know what else I did? Which you can use Quick Movie or whatever. iMovie. I'm sorry if you don't have iMovie, I can't help you. But I'm sure there are programs that can do the same thing as iMovie. And for all of my issues, or most of the issues of Rose, and for the Book of Ruth, I made an iMovie with some music, and there's plenty of like free music out there. And put that out there and tell the story of the book within like a few key awesome panels, so that people know that it's out there, and that when you tell the story and set it to music, it just draws people to it. I think it's a very effective marketing tool for your work.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it seemed to work out.
Yeah. You can go on the Kickstarter page and still watch the movie.
That reminds me.
Even though the Kickstarter's done. Dave, did you want to talk about a Kickstarter? Not that it's a Kickstarter. It's actually an
Indiegogo, and I do need to talk about it. Let me go to my...
Was that a good segue? Do you like how I did that?
You're a pro. It's
almost like I planned it.
Yes. Okay, anyway. So
that's why I'm here, people.
Let me do my share screen thing again. I think you know what? I'm better at it now.
Did you really not already bring it up beforehand?
No, but what I have to do, you know what?
I won't.
Let me just do what I'm doing here.
Just do what you're doing.
Okay, so it's already up and it's right here, but I need to actually set it in the StreamYard.
No, that's not up. You didn't. Oh, it's at the
This is it?
Oh, there you go.
And so it has a video. I'm going to play the video, or a little bit of it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that production quality.
That was painful.
Well, oh, come on.
That was good. My book. Not my book.
Look at how well edited. Look, this is so well put together.
It's really well done.
I turned this in today.
Did you do that?
No.
They did it.
Oh, I couldn't do that. Anyway, I'm not going to make you guys watch the whole thing. So,
Point is, it's live.
And it has a video, which
and
I recorded this morning. I sent them at 1:00.
That's awesome.
Edited. I can't. Yeah.
Here's the most important part of this, though.
I need to go back to my actual. I'm sitting here. Anyway, and there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, by the way.
Can I just say, I just want to talk about the 48-hour early bird special.
That's actually what I was going for.
Okay, you say it.
48-hour early bird special. Available for 48 hours only. The stark black and white line art of David Finch on this edition allows you to see every bold line in its design without trade dress. Anyway.
If you want it, you got to get it in the next 48 hours. In less than 48 hours, because it's been live.
Oh, I clicked to buy it. Let me go back.
Oh, Dave.
I
love you so much.
Anyway, so
Wrong tab. Pick a different tab.
Anyway, it's got a early bird special. It's got a bunch of different versions. There's a metal version. I'm not sure exactly what to expect from that.
Oh,
that's going to be interesting.
Cool.
There's a picture of me from 30 years ago.
Yeah, like before I think I knew you for that.
And some interior pages, which are beautiful. They're very, very nicely done. You get a lithograph, or I guess you can get a lithograph. What else? Other stuff. Anyway, other stuff. So yes, please check it out. It's live now, which I'm really excited about. We've been waiting for quite a while for this to come up.
Too,
it's doing well. Yeah, we're over 2,300. Like it's doing great. So
come on, people. Meredith needs a new pony.
Anyway, that's it.
No, I'm done. I'm seriously.
Before I just stop, I should also mention I also have my Batman Catwoman cover available. The link is in the description. It's available from Comic Sketch Art. You can go to their site. Anyway, yeah, link is in the description. There are a bunch of different versions. And so, yeah, we've got that one too. And let's go back to now. I need to figure out how to get out of
Fine.
here. Hold on. Stop screen.
Draw,
There.
monkey
Okay,
draw.
we're
There we
back. Thank you, guys.
So, because clearly this is the part of the night where we're promoting Dave's stuff. You can also, for all of you Americans celebrating Thanksgiving this week, join David on Black/Bat Friday.
Black
So-
slash?
Oh, it's
Back-
Bat Friday. That's what they're calling it. It's Black Friday.
Oh,
They're
that's
calling
right.
it
That
Bat
stream.
Friday. So live one night only at 9 p.m. Eric, our moderator extraordinaire, has kindly posted in the chat the information. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 27th, hosted by Mainframe Comic Con. Look back in the chat. Eric's got the details posted, and
And I'll be appearing with Jay Fabok. So
Yeah.
it'll be a big, and we've known each other for ages and ages, and we've got a lot of history together. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that part
Dave
of
and
it.
Jay talking about the bat
Yep.
on Black Friday.
So it should be good. And, also, I'm hoping you guys will come just because, it'd be nice to see a good number watching. I think that would be
Please don't leave
great.
Dave hanging.
Don't leave. That's what
Dave
I'm
will
saying.
be, he's
Please,
so
guys, don't
depressed
leave me hanging.
because you have nothing else to do on Black Friday except shop for Christmas presents and hope they show up in time based on the way the mail system is going. And nobody shouts out to the essential workers that are the postal workers, but when I go into my local Shoppers Drug Mart, they are freaking overwhelmed every single time.
Yeah.
The other day, I couldn't see her behind the boxes of returns from people.
Wow.
So shout out to everybody who is working in the postal system. Obviously, shout out to the healthcare workers. But I think that the postal workers are kind of
Excuse me.
not mentioned as often as they should be right now because they're getting overwhelmed.
They are, there are people that are out of work.
And Christmas shopping, I just started mine. I can't even imagine. I think I heard Amazon say that they're in terms of internet shopping, they're 3 years ahead of their predictions. So they're getting, or maybe it was Canada Post, but they're 3 years ahead of their predictions.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I was just going to say, there are people out of work, and nothing's tougher than that. But yeah, there are some people that are absolutely buried too right now, and definitely postal workers and anybody getting shipping or anything like that they are working hard right now.
they are. Maddie says, I just got to say, Maddie agrees with me, Dave. Monday does start off for a week to make for a happy week, and she can't wait to have Summer be able to watch the stream. And also, she has PE days on Monday, just not often. So I was not wrong when I said that it's a good day to have Monday night draw. Starts the week off well.
There you go.
And everybody shout out to Page One Comics, who is apparently getting married on December 7th.
No
so
kidding.
Good luck, Jimmy.
How did I not know that?
Because Jimmy never talks about
Man.
his actual life. He talks comics when we talk to him.
Yeah, well, and actually, I haven't talked to Jimmy for, it's been like a month. It's been a little bit.
I think it's been like a week, 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I talked to Jimmy.
It's been too long. So yeah, congratulations. Hear me. Congratulations. That's great.
And Lance DeBoyer says Dave and Mara took the Monday out of the Mondays. So there you go. I'm not wrong. At least 2 people agreed with me that we make Monday better. All right. Next super chat comes from Wolverine Charlie Parks for $5. Charlie says, "Are you serious? I am the Gambit guy."
Yeah, see, there you go.
See, Charlie, I'm so sorry, Charlie.
And Gambit is coming. I'm really looking forward to drawing Gambit.
I blame it on the cold. My brain goes numb.
I'm doing Spawn right now just because I couldn't get it out of my head. I just really wanted to draw Spawn.
It is Dave's stream, so sometimes we gotta let Dave draw what Dave wants to draw.
Yeah. But Gambit is coming. That's not right.
The Art Jedi says Meredith and David Finch, Monday night draw is a cup of inspiration to get me through the melodramatic week. You need to cut down on the drama, but thank you, Art Jedi.
We all go through it.
We do. It's true. I don't actually, because I have horses. Horses aren't dramatic. Actually, okay. I have not boy horses. They're not dramatic. If you had a mare, it would be dramatic because women are dramatic. I always say there's only room for one woman in my house. So there you go. I don't actually say it like that, but this is a PG stream. So,
wow.
Jimmy says, "Thank you, everyone. I get to marry a wonderful girl. We're so happy for Jimmy."
Yeah, that is great. Oh, he's got a busy whirlwind time coming, that's for sure.
All right. Ferris Jabbar says, "Dave, besides gesture drawing, what else can one do to create more dynamic figures and reduce stiffness? Thank you." Get them off both feet.
Sure. Now, okay. Let me think about that for a second, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Go. Do you want me to sing?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be able to think through that.
I can't do the Jeopardy's music, although we're very sad about Alex Trebek.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I mean, I never really watched the show, to be honest.
So many super chats. My screen totally blipped.
Okay, so yeah, drawing dynamic characters, I would say some artists have just a natural sense for dynamics, I think, or at least I assume, because the truth is that I'm not in there. I'm not there in their studio with them, seeing the struggles they go through, and it's really easy to think because an artist does something really well that they just don't struggle in the same way that you do. And I mean, I could tell you from experience, the struggle is different for different people. It really is. Like, there are things that I've seen artists struggle with that I didn't really have too much trouble with, and I've seen artists just have absolutely no trouble with things that have been a struggle for me for years. And so that's just a fact. But I think for me, not being maybe the most comfortable with dynamic figures for a while, and there are times I still feel like I can be stiff, and it's ironic. Okay, so my advice is to look at artists to do it well and sketch for them and draw their work, which really is gesture drawing, but it's gesture drawing with a real focus. And then also, when you're drawing your own characters, you really want to think in terms of balance, pushing your characters off of balance and using that. You don't want your characters to just be standing and looking like they're falling over, but what you can do is you play with weight. And so if you want a character to be punching and he's leaning into that punch, then you lean the center of gravity over. And by center of gravity, all I mean is your chest and pelvis and that whole area has quite a bit of weight in your head. And so if your foot is here and it's way over here, it's going to want to fall down. But if you're pushing out, it looks like it really has a lot of movement that way. That can create a lot of dynamics. Another thing is to really understand exactly what the limits are of your body. So I can move my arm just about, you can't see it, but about that far back. And knowing that and feeling how that feels gives you a real idea of where you can push that figure, and to not push it too far, but to push it to the limit of where it goes. And really learning those limits is a good way to really exaggerate your figures. Another thing is really learning foreshortening. And that's something I really want to cover in more detail fairly soon, is foreshortening, because just, the difference between a figure that is flat against the page, maybe, punching directly to the side, versus a character that's punching right at you and the fist is huge right in your face, it's much more dynamic. And so layout is a factor in that too. There are a lot of things that kind of come together. I would think about layout. I would think about foreshortening, and looking at artists that do it really well. Look at some Joe Mad. I mean, I think you could not really probably do better than Joe Mad for just an incredibly dynamic artist that not only has really fluid and beautiful dynamic figures, but also knows how to lay it out in a way that really makes them exciting. So yeah, and then it's also understanding that it's a learning process. So you can't beat yourself up when it doesn't come completely naturally right away. It doesn't for anyone.
All right. Next super chat comes from Greg L. Static Art for $2. Greg says, "I'm the static guy." Oh, because we did Static Shock. And then I have a super chat from Kevin Mandeville for $2.99. Happy Finch Day, Dave and Meredith. Happy Finch Day, Kevin Mandeville. Thank you so much.
Yeah, by the way, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. It's literally, but yeah, it's coming right up.
I'm feeling like I may need to cook a turkey on Thursday in honor of our American friends.
I would not complain about that.
All right, our next super chat comes from, and I'm going to apologize now, because I feel like I did it wrong the last time too. Adi Vaz Suarez for $5. Will you ever draw Chainsaw Man? And why not try reaching out to Proco to see what information you can share with aspiring artists outside of your fans? Oh, so much I could say right now. but I can't say it right now.
Yes,
That's all
thank
we
you
can say
very
right
much for the super chat. I am not familiar with Chainsaw Man, truthfully. I'll have to look into that. I don't know who that is.
But in terms of the Proco stuff,
in terms of the Proco stuff,
interesting.
Here's
All
what I'm
we
going to
can
say. I actually am working with some people right now to reach an audience that is outside of a traditional comic audience on YouTube. So that is coming, and it's actually coming very soon. It should be, well, it will be this coming month. So,
good.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're saying as much as we can say without saying anything. Does that make sense? All right. And just while we're out here, it's been half an hour. I haven't said it. I see Kenny's in the chat, so I'd be remiss if I didn't. To everybody watching, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribing, so you don't miss any of Dave's awesome tutorials, because the live stream is not the only thing he does. He also posts YouTube videos. You can go back and check out his channel and learn how to draw all kinds of awesome stuff like hair and female figures and male figures, and you give so much stuff away for free. It's awesome. You are so committed to like helping artists develop and grow. I'm so mercenary and I give you grief for it all the time, but I love that you're so generous. So there's awesome stuff out there for free where you can learn from a comic book legend. Is he blushing? Is he red? I can keep doing this.
Yeah, okay, we're good. Thank you. Yes, well, we do. I've got actually by now quite a few videos up. I have another one coming up this week. I want to say it's going to be up tomorrow. It's a little out of my hands right now. So fingers crossed it'll be out tomorrow. I think maybe I'd be better off to just say that it's going to be out on Wednesday. I am actually working with an editor, finally, because, oh, I saw Dr. Rock is here. Did I see him? Yeah. Hi, Dr. Rock. But drawing the actual video doesn't take me that long, but editing it, being not an editor, naturally, it's taking me like a good portion of my week. And as I've tried to put more into the editing, yeah, it's really become a bit of an issue. And so I found a phenomenal editor. It's really going to up the quality of the videos, which I'm excited about. And also it means that I can do the video and get right back into that cover that I'm always late on, or whatever it happens to be. It's always something. So yeah, it means also that I'll be able to upload to much more of a predictable schedule. So I had talked about with the editor getting it ready for Tuesday, but this is our first real video that we're doing together. So there's a bit of back and forth and we're working things out, but it will certainly be up this week. And it's going to be on inking. Really, what it is actually is it's mostly a breakdown of my tools and why I use the tools that I use, and kind of the journey that I took with tools, from using a traditional. By the way, I will actually be using a traditional brush today because I ran out of these fills here, totally empty, so I can't use those brushes. And
you can't refill them?
No, you have to just buy the canisters. Yeah. Anyway, I ordered more. I thought they should have been here by now.
Is that why you excitedly opened the package from Amazon and then
No, I was still happy.
Left it sitting on the counter because it was just paper.
I was still happy to see the paper because I needed that too. So nobody was upset about that either. But yeah, I've got more of these coming. In the meantime, though, I'm actually going to be using, a proper.
Use brush and ink, people.
Brush and ink. So yeah.
Watch out. It's good timing, actually. Are you sure you didn't do that on purpose because you've got the inking video coming out?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Next super chat comes from Brain Games for $4.99. Can you explain the wheel thing where you said the tire is not straight up and down in perspective? Because I couldn't grasp the idea.
Okay. Let's see. I just moved this. I've got a lot of stuff on the desk. Okay, so if I draw a car, I'm going to draw it just as a, pretty simple block shape because, nobody needs to be here all day while I draw a car. And I draw a wheel, it's going to be straight up and down. And that's fine because my perspective, I'm just drawing something dead flat. But if I have my horizon line low and I look up at the car, let's say I've got my car flying through the air, you know, it's jumped off a ramp. It's a Batmobile and it's flying through the air. Anyway, and so I'm going to draw my wheel straight up and down still. And it looks off. It looks like they're actually kind of broken a little bit. And that is because when I draw my perspective lines, all I need to do is I'm just drawing a 90-degree angle. That's it. So whatever the angle is of my perspective line, I just draw a 90-degree angle from it. And so I've got my perspective point here. These lines are coming out here. So my angle is going to be like this, which means my wheel is going to be more angled like this. And you can see already it just looks better. I'm just going to fake this one in. I mean, that's about the angle right there. I'll do the same thing for this one. And you can see now it actually looks like it's attached to the car. I can do the same thing if I'm drawing a car. You're looking downward, it's just the opposite. So that's really all it is. It's nothing complex at all. It's just, you know, here's my horizon. Here's my perspective. I use a ruler for this in actual practice because I need to. But if I've got a wheel, let's say I want to draw a wheel basically in this kind of plane here, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, that's going to be my 90-degree angle. And so that's the angle that my wheel takes. So that's it. That's all it is. It's actually very, very simple. So hopefully that makes more sense. I feel like I kind of said the same thing again. I actually was looking at some of my older art and I realized that I was drawing the wheel that way properly, but not all the time. And it's just not a concept that I really actually understood. So, you know, it was like a hit or miss, but you know, Sean Murphy, by the way, you know, a huge shout out to Sean Gordon Murphy. He did, I think he was actually in a classroom maybe. So he had students around him while he was drawing and he was explaining things. And he explained that one. And I thought, holy crap, you know, I've been working in the business for how many years, you know? Actually, somebody in the comments said, you know, professional comic artist for over 20 years doesn't know how to draw a circle in perspective. Yeah, you know, it's true.
Is that what happened for him?
No, that's somebody in my comments said that.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, no, and it's true. I mean, it's embarrassing, but the fact is that it's very difficult to know everything and things can slip through the cracks. And so much of what I learned in a studio with other artists, and you learn from your boss and you learn the things that, like Mark knows how to do that. But it's very difficult to get everything across. Look, you know.
I just want to say this, Dave.
Yeah.
A certain amount of drawing things in perspective is math. And after teaching your child and watching you attempt math, that might not be your forte. So keep drawing your pretty pictures. I love you so much. You're a genius at what you do, but holy cow. You and Isaac and the math. Well,
I will say this. Sean Murphy in his video said it amazes him all the time how many professional comic artists don't understand that concept. And I was watching the video going, oof, I feel that. Yeah, it's true.
Ouch, burn. All right, next super chat comes from Charlie Parks for $5. Thank you so much, Charlie. Dave, can you share a quick tutorial connecting the upper body with the lower body when bent forward in pose? Your friend, Wolverine.
Connecting the upper. Okay, sure. You know, and I'm going to say, Charlie, that this is something that I have covered quite a bit in tutorials, and I don't know that I really have a like. I want there to be a way that
you've covered it quite a bit on the stream.
Yeah, but in tutorials too.
You need to take all the stream footage,
right, and put it there. Yeah, I hear you. Okay,
together. You can give all the stream. You've got an editor now.
I do. Okay, so.
I'll stop talking.
Thank you. I mean, no, it's fine. All right, so
it's a challenge.
Bent over. Here's my upper body, my neck, and you know what? I'm going to do it the way that I did in my drawing male torsos video, and that is to just draw a sack. That's a method that just really works so well. So here's my sack, and this is the shape of it here. So it's a little bigger on the bottom or on the top than the bottom. I can draw a space for my arms here. My head's going to stick out here. And then there's my chest. There's my pelvis. And the stomach really follows along that line. And so there would be where one leg comes out. Here's where another leg comes out. And your stomach follows along this line here. So there's your stomach, rib cage in there. I'm going to draw an arm coming off of it here, and another arm coming off here. So yeah, that's bent over from the front with the pelvis kind of coming out at you. And it's really just, if I draw maybe another one. So I've got my arm coming out here. I'm going to twist it even. So here's my back. And then you see it rides along here. So this is the front of my pelvis, kind of 3/4, I guess. And so it's just connecting it as one overall shape instead of trying to draw I'm off the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Here, let me move this. So instead of trying to draw a chest, here's my chest shape, here's my pelvis shape, and then kind of fighting to get it together. If that is something that you're struggling with, I definitely recommend that you draw, like a sack. So here's my chest, here's my pelvis, and I can easily get those kind of in there. Legs, arms, my head. Anyway, and you can see how it really makes things kind of make sense. And then you want to just go through and work on your divisions. There's going to be my chest here. These center lines, this one's in a little bit too far, are going to be my stomach, which is going to be along here. I mean, and detail is a whole other thing, but really when you're laying things out and when you're struggling with those kind of proportional or I guess connection issues, you want to keep it as absolutely simple as possible. One thing I really do want to cover, let me get my page back here. One thing I really want to cover, and I'm going to be working on this soon. And again, now that I have an editor, I had an extension to the drawing heads video that I did that I'm going to be doing actually some work on tomorrow, and it's going to be expressions. And I just was not able to do it because the time commitment. I desperately want to do this stuff, but I've also got so much work to do. It's been very difficult for me to get to. So anyway, I've got that one coming because it'll be edited. Yeah, it'll actually, come out. And after that, I really want to work on some anatomical intensives. I did for my YouTube channel a lot of breakdowns, kind of more in that format where it's breaking things down in a geometrical way. I really want to do something that's much more anatomical and really gets into all the little areas, because there's so many things. And you'll find when you're learning how to draw that there are, you'll have like a hand and you'll learn how to draw a knuckle in a way that you weren't really aware of before. And it just really clicks. And that's like, those are the things you look forward to when you're learning how to draw, those little revelations. And that's where your growth comes from, and there are so many things like that over the years where I went, you know what, just this little trick, just, trying this little bit of shadow here just really accentuates that form in a way that I like. And I want to get as much of that into the video as I can. Just all the little kind of ticks and tricks that I use while I'm drawing figures. These are all very personal to me, though. I mean, they're not necessarily something that's going to work for everyone. So it's a matter of, you can look at all of the stuff that I do and that works for me and then decide what works for you and maybe what doesn't. And I do find, I'm just rambling here, Meredith. I apologize, but I do find, Meredith, no, I'm not totally rambling. I want one more point, that even if I don't draw anything like an artist, it's amazing the amount of things that I can get out of just trying what they do. It gives you a different perspective and it gives you more of a firm understanding of the way that you're working. So yeah, that's what I would. All right, you can go.
Next super chat comes from Simon Bonifant for $5. Simon says, just want to say hi. And since you're a fan of Pantera, why not draw a dime bag playing the guitar?
Oh man, that would be a lot of fun. Thank you very much for the super chat. And yeah, I would, you know what? Okay. So not really possible for me to do a Pantera album cover now because
they're dead.
Well, Dimebag Daryl has passed away.
Okay.
But yeah, but
I didn't mean that actually. You hesitated though, so I was like, why?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dimebag.
Hey, you sound very anyway.
I'm not disingenuous. I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't know.
Okay. Anyway, but I number one, I want to draw a Megadeth album cover. Probably never going to happen, but I would love to do it. That would be like dream job. I would also love to, even just for the stream, draw the Megadeth guy. I'm so bad with names. Somebody in the chat knows,
I'm
right?
so I'm so behind on the.
Anyway,
Okay.
and yeah,
Stop. I gotta catch up
there
on
would
super
be
chat. Stop talking. Kevin Mandevil, $2.99 super chat. Kevin wants to know, what's your most prized comic related possession?
It's coming. I'm hoping tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe even today. So I don't have it yet. Now, okay, so
I know what it is.
yeah. And I'm not going to say because I want to show you guys next week. I'm so pumped. It's going to be here if I can fit it. I'm not even sure if it'll fit on the shelf there, but it's coming.
Like stand up taller than the might rival the Wolfhounds for height.
I don't know if it'll fit there. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. So I've got something coming next week that I'm pretty pumped about. My current favorite, I'm looking over at my shelf, and so I did
Stop talking.
Ultimatum. Not Ultimatum. What's one I did with Jeff Johns? Forever Evil. And I've got, I don't know if you can see him up there. You can kind of see a shadow of him. So I've got the toys of that. That's a thrill. Awesome. I've got and you know what? My office is actually pretty clean now. I need to do a studio tour, but I've got Aphrodite 9, the statue.
I didn't step on any pencil lead when I came to the couch. And I'm looking around and I don't see any debris on the floor. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Am I in trouble for saying that?
That
I didn't see debris on the floor?
Oh. Yeah, so okay, we had a bit of a discussion last week where I'm like, you know what? Come on. I understand it's a little messy here.
I didn't say there were fingernails on the floor because there aren't. It's not that bad. There's $20 constantly. That's like a joke, though. All right. We're fine. He loves me. I can drive a Bobcat, so I'm hot. Dr. Rock Art has a super chat for 10.99 euros. 10 euros and 99 cents. Hey, Finches! I thought it would be spawn when you told us you would do something you love this week. Love the pose. Thank you for all your advice. I learned a lot from you. So, people, listen closely. I only read these, people. I don't actually write them. So, there you go.
That was Dr. Rock?
That was Dr. Rock.
Oh, great.
Saying, listen up, people.
And by the way, everybody, Dr. Rock has a YouTube channel that you should really check out. You should
check out because Dave's done some collaborative videos with
him. And also he's just got some great videos on his own too. I handed him
some stuff for the last video, but it got edited out.
No, it didn't. It's in there. Did you not watch the video?
I did watch the video.
He
missed my hand.
Oh, okay. He actually put in his video, because he did his also, he put his horses in there, his wife's horses.
He did?
Yep. Just for you. Part. And so, yeah, I apologize.
Oh my gosh, you guys are like.
I said, I'm going to tell her. I was all excited about it. Yeah. And then, you know what?
You didn't tell me. I watched the Halloween video.
Right.
But horses in the Halloween
video. Is the Halloween one, but it's on his channel. So you need to check that out.
I do have to check it out.
You can kind of see his stable.
I watched on your channel. So there you go.
Very cool. Yeah.
I'm going to have to, because you guys clearly frickin' frack. Wives, horses, nothing left to say. SCS Powerlifting with the super chat for $5. What's up, everybody? Sorry to be late, but training for a meet. SCS, you got to post like some pictures of the meat thing. Spawn is looking awesome.
Thank you, SCS. Yeah, I'd love to see it. That would be great to see. That'd actually be something that'd be kind of cool to, put up on the screen so everybody can see it.
Dave always is asking me to pose for his like photos when he needs to take like a power shot, but maybe SCS can be the next one.
Maybe. There you go.
One Mighty R is a super chat for $2. Best tutorials ever. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mighty.
Thank you, Mighty.
Dr. Rock Art says, you're right, Mighty. I feel like he should have said, you're righty, Mighty. Come on, that's good.
Oh, yeah, no, that's quality comedy.
Fish forever. Look, nobody's here for the comedy.
It is a good thing.
I mean, if they're laughing at me, it's almost the same as laughing with me, right?
There you go. What is it, like no press is bad press, or
I don't know. I haven't had really bad press yet, so talk to me when that happens.
Yeah, there you go.
Crayfish Forever has a super chat for $5. Thank you both so much. You're a blessing to my family. Excited about Spawn tonight. Please add Deku, Morita, and Shaft from Youngblood to the list. Midoriya. Deku Midoriya. You know who that is, right?
Do you?
I don't. I feel like it's like a manga thing.
Okay. I do know. I mean, Shaft from Youngblood, I certainly know.
Shaft, yeah.
That would be a blast. Actually, hey, I wanted to mention. So I got inked by Tom McFarlane, which,
I'm adding them to the list.
Very cool.
Crayfish forever.
I also got
your
inked.
super chat.
I also got inked by Rob Liefeld. I did a Youngblood cover that Rob inked, which, you know.
Oh, yeah, Rob.
Remember that? That was very cool. Yeah, you know, getting inked by I mean, you know, he's Rob Liefeld, man. He's like a celebrity for me. It was a big deal.
It's only 3 down on my recent Word documents.
He's like a celebrity for a lot of us.
Okay,
Not just for me.
Who's Deku?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I don't know.
I feel Deku Marita sounds like
It does sound.
I'm just copying and pasting. Copy.
Reference.
Look at me with the technology. Paste. Save. Done. On the list.
Kills me that I can't draw Spawn without reference, but he's got some costume details.
A lot, though.
I have drawn him at conventions with no reference at all, and I just kind of make it up, and it's not perfect, but it's close. But since I've got my reference right here, I want to make sure that it's actually, you know, done right.
All right.
And yeah, I don't get to draw him as much as I would like.
Super behind the chat right now. People are laughing at me, and I don't even know what they're laughing at. Mark C, $5 super chat. I never figured out how to draw a Captain America shield in perspective. So clearly we're way back at the circle comments.
Well, there you go. But yeah, it would work for the shield. Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion. You want to draw Captain America's shield in perspective, get SketchUp, type Captain America's shield in. You will. So if you get SketchUp, there's a thing called 3D Warehouse. So this is actually my last tutorial video for cars, but it works for all kinds of things. And there are models of so many things. And the thing about Captain America's shield is it's also rounded on top. And so to get all that, the circles and then the star working on it, when I was drawing Avengers, I didn't have the advantage of doing that. I had to fake it. Sometimes it really worked. Sometimes it didn't. But yeah, why fight it? You know? So yeah, just get SketchUp and you can find a good model of it and never fight with it again.
So I feel like I have to do a shout out for Kenny right now because our poor Kenny Wang is taking some heat right now.
Why? What's going on?
They're talking about Kenny, that Kenny's short for Kevin. And Kevin Mandeville was like, it's definitely not.
It's
My name's
Kenneth.
Kevin, and nobody's ever called me Kenny. And there's like this whole thing about Kenny. Kenny, we love you. We can't have the stream without you, Kenny.
It's Kenneth.
It's Kenneth.
I'm
assuming
too, but yeah.
Or maybe somebody just was like, hey, I love the name Kenny and I want my kid to be Kenny.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Rogers, like the singer, Kenny says, who we love and will play on Fridays when we play cards, which we won't be playing this Friday. Why, people? Because David will be doing not black, but Bat Friday at 9 p.m. for I got that far.
Well, you know better than I do.
Oh my gosh. For the comic thing. Whatever. Eric will post the link in the stream. It's past my bedtime. It's 8:48. Dr. Rockhart for a super chat for €5.49. Adele wants to know if he should stick to anatomy stuff as a beginner. Adele being Adele, maybe. Adele wants to know if he should stick to anatomy stuff as a beginning or if he should practice things like folds and stuff like that as well. Peace out. So nice of Dr. Rock to super chat for a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I would say on my website, davidfinchart.com, it's actually, I've got, Jimmy's here, right? Are you still here, Jimmy? I really need to talk to you about changing my background because it says DFinch Artist, which is my website, and you can go there and it's a live website. But my new website is davidfinchart.com, davidfinchart.com. And on there, I've got a blueprint for, you know, a way to approach trying to get better with your artwork and, you know, to go from, you know, I guess point A to hopefully becoming professional. And it's a bit of an overview, but I would check that out. And also I would just say, you need to learn folds. Like you can't avoid it. You need to be able to do it. That said, you know, muscles really come first. Anatomy comes first because you always want to think in terms of, your most foundational things and then build outward from there.
If we were going to talk from a horse point of view.
But we're not. So if you are drawing cars, you can't draw cars until you understand perspective. So, you know, I would say learn anatomy first. Okay, so from a horse point of view, what are we talking about here?
I would say you need to learn to walk before and steer before you and stop before you can trot.
Fair enough. There you go.
And if you're drawing, you need to learn how to like put the muscles in place before you try to add clothing.
Right.
And render and shadow and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I think that's
It's your
important.
Basics.
For sure. It's important. But
yes. I know what you want. Everybody wants to run. You get on a horse, everybody wants to be the person galloping down the beach. But if you don't learn how to stop your horse, you're going to end up
like Fabio.
I don't know. Did Fabio gallop a horse down the beach?
You know what I'm talking? He did all the.
I know who Fabio.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, maybe he didn't, and I'm just.
I can't believe it's not butter. Am I going to get? He did a. I can't believe it's not butter commercial. Did you know that?
Did he?
He was on all the Harlequin romance covers for like the 90s.
Well, and this is a problem. This might be a bit of a.
Oh my gosh, we're aging ourselves, people. Better than Dave.
90s.
When the stream broke down.
I could age myself a whole lot worse than 90s.
Mark C. Let's just move on to something positive. Mark C. has a super chat for $5. By the way, Mark C. says, congrats. Even with all the comic book talent on YouTube, I think you've broken the code on doing a drawing stream.
Well, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it.
See, I really went super positive. Thank you, Mark.
My secret is Meredith, and she drives me nuts. And, you know, I've threatened to fire her over and over again. For those of you that watch.
I missed one stream, and every night he's like, are you sure you're going to be at the stream? I'm like, dude, I was sick.
No, that's not actually really why. It's mostly, you know, we're going along. Things are good. And then, you know, stuff comes out of you, and I'm like, whoa.
Don't tick me off.
There you go.
You know what they say? If wifey ain't happy, happy wife, happy life.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a threat. But I would say
it probably was.
The reason why the stream is working, and I feel like it is, I'm really happy with it. It is because, oh man, I hate saying this.
Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
Oh, don't stop.
I love you. You're the best.
But I do think, you know, having you here
because I can
makes
watch.
a big difference.
Well, I can do what you can't.
And it keeps me talking too, because I will I'm naturally very quiet generally. So it's not my natural state. Also, I find with Meredith here, because you're reading the questions, I feel like I'm talking to all you guys and really having a conversation. When I'm just reading the comments, it's tougher. It is.
It feels less like a conversation.
And it's funny, like when I'm doing this,
I'm an awesome reader.
When I'm doing this, I really feel like I'm communicating directly with you guys. I try to look at the camera sometimes, you know, but when I'm just talking to the camera, I totally feel like I'm talking to a piece of metal. Like it's so awkward. I will never get over it. I would have by now. If I was ever getting over it, would have happened. I shouldn't have picked a character with chains.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to SCS powerlifting, which I feel like meshes with the chain comment.
Okay.
Who has a super chat for $5. SCF says, Dave, I have an issue with gloves and boots on a piece. Think the thing, hands and feet on a regular body. Any tips on how to fit them? So, like, I'm assuming, like, massive hands and feet on a regular body.
You're saying gloves. Can you read the question again?
It says, I have an issue with gloves and boots on a piece. He's struggling with the piece he's doing.
Okay.
And he's having a problem integrating the hands and the boots, the gloves and the boots. But what his like visual is the thing, which has like massive hands and massive feet.
Right.
On like a regular person body. How would you do that?
Okay, so I'm going to draw, here's a leg. And I'm going to draw a foot. The way I always break down my feet is I've got this piece kind of here, my toe, which I bring up into it just a little bit. And then my leg, actually, I bring down like this. This is so not anatomical, but this is how I like to break it down. So, and I like breaking it down this way because you could put a hinge here and hinge the toes and they actually bend that way. And you could hinge here and, you know, you can slightly hinge here, but, and also there's a hinge here. So if I've got my leg like this, I'm totally digressing. It's not what he asked, but so I can bend the whole foot down like that. And so I like that form. So anyway, here's my form. Okay. And off the page again. You guys really need to start yelling at me when I do this. This is one problem with it.
The problem is I'm not paying attention to what you're doing. I'm paying attention to the chat.
And the chat can write it in the chat, but they can't just yell in my ear.
Yeah.
Okay. So to draw a bigger boot, what I would do is just take that foot form and just make it bigger. So it's just bigger, you know, maybe a little more blunt too. So there you go. It's a massive boot on a very little leg, but that's really all there is to it. Another thing that, let me show you something that can be a big help. So I got this guy, and I remember when this came in the mail, my youngest Isaac was like, what is this? Like, why did you even buy this? But I bought this because check out those boots. And so the great thing about them is not only, well, they don't really have a huge amount of movement, but you can actually move the toe too. And so what I can do, I'm going to use it for reference right now. So here's my, and I'm still in the shot, which is great. Because I really struggle with, because a foot with a boot has a different shape than just a straight up foot, because you've got your sole here and then you've got your heel, and getting it all, like getting that shape really working. Now I think what you're seeing from the camera is a bit of a different angle than what I'm seeing, just based on the angle. But yeah, it makes it so much easier for me to get that than fighting with it. And so yeah, I got this guy. I use him for boots a lot, actually. He's got great feet. So there you go. I really recommend, you know, these kinds of things that can be like, if I draw.
Isaac's not the only one who's like, why did you order that when that shows up in the mail?
But you can see why I would use it, right?
I can.
And yeah, can I draw that boot? Sure, I could do it. But
sometimes
I find it can be a struggle.
And I open it, I'm like, why?
You know what? Sometimes I feel like, you ever see, it was a baseball movie from the 80s. It was a huge movie. Tom Berenger was in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Okay, anyway, so there's baseball
80s.
Right, there's a baseball player in there. Charlie Sheen was in it.
Field of Dreams.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Costner.
Yeah, no, that was it.
Their own. That's Madonna. All right, Charlie Parks has a super chat for $2. Charlie says, "Thanks, Dave." My apologies because I missed it previously. He's talking about the
welcome
tutorial.
I hope it was helpful, Charlie. Thank you. Okay, so the point of what I was going to say, the movie doesn't really matter so much.
Well, you were digressing, so I just moved on.
Right, I got it. Anyway, I forgot what it was. Oh, right. So there's this older baseball player, and you know, he's been around for years and years, and so he's starting to pull out all these different tricks because he can't keep up with the younger guys anymore. And so he's like putting grease on the ball and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, whenever I use that kind of thing, I feel like, you know,
you feel like you're cheating.
I feel like I'm cheating, but you know what? There's no cheating in art. Like, for instance, check this out.
Ultimately, you're drawing.
You guys got to see this.
Oh.
Check out my skull. So it's not real, by the way, you know, but it's like an anatomical skull that I got.
Because if it was, Meredith wouldn't be down here.
Yeah, it would be a little bit creepy down here. And it even hinges. So you can kind of open the mouth. And I can draw a skull on my own. And generally speaking, I do. But if I have to draw like a big, for instance, like Ghost Rider, who I'm looking forward to drawing. If I want to draw his skull and it's really uplit and it's a more detailed shot, that could be tough. I've got my skull and I just use it for reference.
Well,
there you go.
All right. I'm going to read this from the stream. Blake Goldstein, a few weeks ago or last week, we gave advice on commissions.
Yep.
Blake says, "Hey, Dave, thanks for the advice on commissions. They're loving it. I'm doing very detailed rendering." That
is great to hear. That's great.
And I'm just going to read a few more shout outs to Dr. Rock because it's so sweet of him to super chat for a deal. Rike Anglaise 123, Dr. Rock, what a gentleman, agreed. Charles Petrie, thanks for bringing the energy that you bring, Dr. Rock. Like, Dr. Rock, we just love him. Yeah. So if you're not following Dr. Rock and you've subscribed to David, go ahead and subscribe to Dr. Rock too. His videos are just fun.
Yeah, they really are.
They really are.
And they're also very informative too. Like, he gets a lot in there, but he's a great entertainer.
So go over there and follow Dr. Rock. We are at the RIP Dimebag. That's how far back I am in the chat. Major League. Now I'm getting there. Hold on.
Well, you know what else we're at?
What?
We're at 8:59.
Hold on. I got one more super chat before we do that. Jeez.
And I'm almost done the chain.
I know.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh. Oh no, I've lost. I'm like so far back. I'm gonna have to scroll back. Why don't you do your book of the week?
I'm gonna do the book of the week, and while I do that, Meredith can
scroll back because I think I've lost some super chats.
So I'm excited about this book of the week.
You take forever.
I do.
We do.
Okay, all right. So you do.
I do. Apparently.
Anyway, this book of the week. This is Dead Man by Kelly Jones. Now I will warn you that there are a few things in here that can be a little bit mature. So some of the themes and some of the language in here too. There are things that I think they say that you wouldn't really do now. But anyway, it's an incredible book. This is a book that I was really fortunate. When I first started looking at comics and thinking I wanted to draw comics, this book was just coming out and I got it. So it's a big influence for me. A lot of the way that I put together my shadow shapes, and you get to see it even on the cover here, the way he's forming all these shapes up, it's very Bernie Wrightson influenced. So I feel like I want to check to make sure that the pages I'm showing are acceptable. You know what? I really should have. Oh, this is the worst. I thought I was so prepared. Okay, here we go.
You've been like, I got this book.
I'm all set. Oh yeah, everything. So check out some of these. Like that face right there, I think is just amazing. I love how he does some of these. He's got like these kind of ropey, sort of broken up anatomical things going on. I've stolen that so many times. This shot right here, I think, is absolutely amazing. It really actually reminds me of Michael Golden a little bit. And just, I mean, incredible lighting, and he always has Dead Man moving and just really kind of, because Dead Man in this book is crazy, and he gets it across so well with the art. Like I love this figure. There's just so much movement all the way through the figure, and the way he did the ribs, you can see the ribs kind of poking out. I'd never seen anything like that. I still, to this day, have not seen anything like that. And I like this panel here. I love the way he uses the framing. So you see the hand kind of coming in from the top and the bottom kind of framing the face, and it's just so inventive. And it's, for me, rare to see something that's so incredibly inventive, but also yeah, this is a great page. So cool looking, Yeah, I love this mouth, like all the way around. And I've taken these ribs for years, This guy right here, I've tried to steal that so many times. So yeah, anyway, this is Dead Man. It's a huge, long book. There's a lot of stuff in here. And you can actually really see his style kind of evolve over the years as he started with something that's a little bit more, still really crazy, but it's a little bit more human looking. And as he went along, it just got more and more nuts. And yeah, just beautiful, really Bernie Wrightson influenced work that is a big influence on me. And a great inker too. He actually had a run on Batman that I thought was really amazing. I was thinking about using that book, but this is my favorite one, so I really wanted to use this one. So there you go.
All right, I'm just copying and pasting super chat so I don't lose them. And before I go back and read some stuff, I just want to read this because it's like I'm patting me on the back. One My Air says Meredith brings great enthusiasm when reading the chat. She's an awesome co-host. David Finch. See, you need me. I mean, you need me in life too. But
I don't deny it. It comes with a cost. That's all I'm saying. All right.
It's totally worth paying though. Greg Aesthetic Art has a super chat for $2. How do you connect the wrist to hands and fists?
Okay. So Greg, I'm gonna. Okay. There we go. I'm going to do my best to explain this, like just off the cuff. Okay, so from the side, here's my arm. The hand actually comes down quite a bit like this, and then the fingers actually come down even more. And so your wrist actually rides up like this. So you don't want it to just be flat. And so if I'm drawing a hand, here's my wrist, and I'm going to draw a fist coming off of it. I don't want the fist to just hang right off of the wrist. I want to think of the wrist as kind of curving in like this into the hand. And then there's where I'm going to put my knuckles here. So it's going to have this kind of a shape. And there's my thumb, just like that. And So yeah, I like to think of the wrist as, I mean, and there's detail, but just from a structural kind of a standpoint, I think of it almost like you want to be flat with it and not, I'm still running out of room here. I was just saying to Meredith that I'm not doing many like quick tutorials, and this week has been a lot of them. So here's my flattened wrist, and this is my hand coming off of it, and then I can have fingers coming off. But I want to make sure that I'm not just, I don't know that that's really, this is, I will say this, Greg, and I apologize, but I put a lot of thought when I'm doing my tutorial videos and how to get it across, because I know how to draw it, but it's a really different thing to explain it in a really simple term. And sometimes it's a little tough for me. And I feel like I'm struggling with this one a little bit. Like I don't have just like a simple cipher. I do like though. So now I'm thinking as I do this, I'm basically just, I always draw, and I'll tell you, when I draw my wrist, I always draw it like this, and then I draw my hand coming off of it. That's the way that I would approach it, really, what I'm actually drawing. But in terms of like structurally, I actually really like the idea of using this kind of a form and then having like this kind of a shape coming into the hand. And you can flatten. So here's my hand. That's got, I'm trying to angle my hand. So yeah, so you can see how it comes down like that. You can flatten your hand. It's more dramatic to show it like this. I really like, and you see that with dancers, when they throw their hands out, dancers that really have great body control, their hands, they always have a great range of motion and a good snap. And that kind of a shape is just more dramatic than that. And so I like using that quite a bit. And so that's something that I'll do a lot. And then obviously, drawing your hand, erase this foot with the wrist bent. So here's my arm. I'm going to draw my palm coming out of it, and then my thumb. And it's really fairly simple to draw that. I mean, that's just a tube going into the hand. I think where people struggle more is with this kind of a form here and getting the hand inserted into the wrist well. So yeah, if you're maybe doing something like
Kenny Wang says, Dave, what's our hand tutorial?
Yeah, you know what? I need to actually start planning it. And I can really see that just from doing this. I can see how much I could get out of it myself even.
Yeah. All right. Also, Kenny Wang says, I want to do a poem with Meredith, but nothing rhymes with Meredith. It's because it's Meredith.
So yeah, there you go.
There's only one.
Yeah, Meredith's a tough one.
All right. Next super chat. Everything shivers. Deku is from My Hero Academia. Actually, I don't even know if this is a super chat. Both Everything Shivers and Michael J. McCurdy. I had to get it. And they aren't the only ones. Everybody's like, Deku is from My Hero Academia.
Oh, Isaac would know that.
If Isaac was down here, he'd be like, hello, dum-dum.
Yeah.
That's where Deku's from. Kevin Mandevil has a super chat for $4.99. Kevin says, I'm going to start a hashtag for Dave to get that Megadeth album gig. Hashtag Finch sells, but who's buying? Or Finch Tick Writings.
Finch sells, but who's buying? That sounds a little sad, but I don't care. It sounds great. I like that one. Yeah. That sounds awesome to me.
And then I copied this one too. Jack of Clubs. Dave, have you considered varnishing $20 into the floor of your new office after you leave? I think we might have to, actually.
The truth is, it's kind of sad. Actually, I hate to say it, but the $20 is actually on, because we did have the cleaning, and she put it on my desk. It's right here.
She did put it on the desk, but it's like,
there you go. It's on the floor again.
You can't even spend it now. That's like the stream's $20.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like there are a few things that are part of the stream.
That's why I didn't.
Cat.
Yep.
The number of coffee mugs you have down here at any given time.
Only 3.
Tonight.
And
the $20 that is always on the floor.
Yeah.
What will we do without those things? They're part of the stream. And of course, all of our friends who join us every week. You know who you are, including Kenny Wang, and Eric. Kenny gets a shout out for always pushing for the likes. Eric, our moderator extraordinaire. Jimmy Reyes always shows up.
Artsy
Dr. Rock
Designs.
tonight. Artsy Designs.
Alec Gobert.
Russ Hicks. Greg L.
One Mighty R.
Henry
Jeremick. Now I'm gonna end up forgetting people.
Oh my gosh.
Sketching the Beast, who is right here. He says, do you need more coffee mugs? I make them with my art on them. Hey, Sketching the Beast makes coffee mugs with his art on them.
Dave, I just had it
What?
SKS powerlifting. Yes, that's it.
SCS.
SCS, thank you. All right, next super chat comes from Wander Shush for $5 Singapore dollars, and Wander Shush says, "Call me Hater." Haider. Hello from Singapore again. I remember Hater from Singapore.
Yep, yeah.
Spawn almost doing the dab. Almost.
He is totally doing the dab.
Oh my gosh. Totally remember when all Everett or Isaac would do was the dab.
Not Everett so much, but yeah, Isaac.
Love it. Isaac was like, it was like a tick.
Yeah.
Gonna start drawing to Wolverine on the board. We'll share somehow. Love it.
We would go to church and they have the children's story section.
I love that he's gonna share his Wolverine, Dave.
What?
Hater's a drawer.
Great. Yeah.
He's gonna share his Wolverine. So we'll look forward to that. And then now you can go. This is me talking about art and you digressing with children's stories.
Yeah, you're right. Well, okay. Yeah, he would go up and do the dab in front of the church. And, everybody thought it was cute. And I'm like dying. And so I'm going, oh my gosh. Kid,
everybody in the church thought it was
killing me.
Your sister's on the stream tonight.
Oh, hey, Leslie.
And Leslie, I know this is totally out of context, but I copied and pasted it. I don't think he fell off a horse, but got smacked by a seagull while on a roller coaster. I'm not even sure what that's in reference to, but I just couldn't help not reading that out loud.
And I should mention, I think if Leslie's watching, then Ken might be there also. Ken is my sister's husband. He is being promoted to now. Okay, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but they just had this big test, I don't know. Ken can explain it better than I could, but he came in second out of 150 or 190, like a lot of people, and that weighs heavily into it. So before COVID, they were looking at promotions. So it's looking like he's going to get he's going to get petty officer second class.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Ken.
And I'm so jumping the gun on saying that.
Well, congratulations.
But whatever. He's here. I'm excited about it.
Or Leslie is. So. All right. Next super chat comes from Mark C for $5. If you had to pick one, who has been more inspirational to either you or the medium? Would it be A, Alex Toth, or B, Wallace Wood?
Wow, is that ever an impossible question to answer? Okay, for me, I don't even know then. So I want to say Wally Wood because I'm such a massive fan of Wally Wood. First of all, he had such a genius at breaking things down. Like his famous rule: when in doubt, block it out. And he did. I think it was 20 panels that always work. I might have that number wrong, and it was just genius what he did with that. And so, I mean, his contributions to the business just with that are pretty big. But then also just the work that he did, his Mad Magazine work, he was actually my book of the week a little while ago because I'm a massive fan. So I'm very biased toward Wally Wood, absolutely. But Alex Toth has had such a massive influence on so many artists and so many artists that I'm such a huge fan of that I feel like I can't necessarily say that it's the truth is I think it's probably actually Alex Toth more than Wally Wood, even just because of his huge influence on Frank Miller and so many artists, Mike Mignola, so yeah, hard question to answer, but a really good question.
Oh, Patches is in the house.
What is it? 9:14.
It's that time.
Wow.
Mark C, by the way, also has a super chat for $2, and I'm reading Mark's because he was not the only one that super chat in this stream to say this, but he super chatted to say it, so I'm going to read it.
Okay.
The movie was dun dun dun
Big league.
Major league.
Oh, and I was going to say big league. See, I still didn't remember.
So there you go.
Major league. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And
I've seen that movie like 20 times, really.
Johnny Cage is banned from the chat, but I'm going to unban him. Somebody must have asked him a question. He said, I can't. Meredith banned me a few weeks ago. But it's okay, Johnny Cage. I'll unban you. The ban only lasts for the night. I love everybody.
The unofficial
ban.
ban.
I love you. And then JP7. Oh, Kenny Wang. He's such a little SD. He says, is that why she didn't mention you when I mentioned a bunch of people? I can't mention everybody. I love you all. El Padrino.
Yep.
Rike Ingles 123, and I didn't even see that on the screen. Like the greatest channel name Meredith has ever seen. I love everybody. The Savage Spade has a super chat for $1. Savage, if you have a question, I will watch for it. But otherwise, thank you for your super chat.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I feel like I missed a super chat. Just want to go back. Make sure I didn't. Megadeth apparently rhymes with Meredith. So
there you go.
Kenny's looking to rhyme.
Meant to be.
That Henry Jeremic. I don't know if he's the only one, but the stream, just ask the stream. They're the source of all information, good or evil.
So I said that I was going to zoom in on this picture.
You're not going to?
No, I am, but I'm blocking in my shadow. I guess I'm making excuses right now because I will do it.
Totally not going to be done by 10 o'clock.
Meredith, I'm doing my best, but he's a complex character, and come on, we're having fun because it's Spawn, right? You're having fun too.
I am.
Tell me you are.
I'm going to fall asleep. I took a nap this morning.
Okay.
Sketching the Beast has a super chat for $10. Dave, you're the man. Just trying digital out in Clip Studio while watching. Sorry for the shameless plug. ROFL. I don't know what that means.
The shameless plug for his mugs. He mentioned that he makes mugs with his art on them.
Oh, okay.
I saw it in the chat, so I mentioned that. And yeah, my pleasure.
How long did it take you to master the cross-hatching technique? I have a tough time with curves.
With curves. Okay, well, I would say I struggled mightily with cross-hatching for quite a while, and I actually avoided it for a bit. And for me, my first real success with cross-hatching was looking at Simon Bisley, and then where it really kind of came together for me and started developing into something that I could use reliably, it was Dale Keown. And Dale Keown actually has a lot of his rendering is a style that I struggled with, but some of it just really clicked for me for whatever reason. So you never know what it's going to be. And then Travis Trest. When I started looking at Travis's work, that really, really just fit for me. He was doing much more of a vertical. Okay, I'm going to say if you're playing the light is above and you have something that's shadowed from below, you'd have your rendering coming up from it vertically, and then he would do crossways just directly horizontally, so it would cross like this. And nobody else was doing that at the time. Everybody was doing a bit more of a kind of a this sort of thing. I struggled with that. It was really hard for me to do that. So when I saw Travis doing that, it just clicked. And the other big thing that I really struggled with was sizing, because it's really easy to just blow out a picture with way too big rendering, or to just kill a picture with tiny, tiny little rendering on a big figure. And so the only solution to that I'm aware of is experience. I don't know that there's an easier way. So you do it, it doesn't work, you adjust, you get something that you like, and some things like that. I think it's not a you can't look at life and learn that. You can look at other artists and learn that, but you have to be aware that their artwork is generally sized down quite a bit. So actually, and Dan Fraga has been in the chat here and there.
See, I forgot Dan Fraga, people.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Meredith forgot me. I love you guys. Come on.
And
Alpin, Dan Fraga.
Dan, I talked to, when I was trying to break in, I talked to him in New York. He was sitting behind the desk. He was working for Rob Liefeld, doing a bunch of stuff. And so I showed him some of my artwork, and he was incredibly supportive. He's such a nice guy. He's great. And yeah, I will never forget that. And one thing he said is just be aware that some of this detail you're doing will absolutely close up. It just won't print well. And he was totally right, but I really needed to see that happen to really look in. And I was still rendering in exactly the way he told me I shouldn't be doing it. And I had to learn it the hard way.
There you go. All right. The next comment I'm reading is not a super chat, but I liked it, so I'm reading it. Alicia Saris says, also, hi Meredith. I love you on the stream with David. Sorry, I just had to pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
I need a cookie too. Yes, I do need a cookie too. Atomic Art. SCS Powerlifting has a super chat.
And we didn't even mention Atomic Art. There you go.
I know. We love everybody. We can't I'm lucky if I get my kids' names right, people.
I know.
Like most of the times Isaac gets called Eve. Like the kids, the dog, the horses, they all get like put in the same filing cabinet. I need a name. I reach in. You get called whatever I pull out.
Well, and I still call Eve Bailey.
I know. So
Bailey was my dog for 15 years, and she passed away.
And then you were talking about Bailey, and you called Bailey Eve. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5. SCS wants to say, awesome. Thank you for the response. Just to let you know how far back we are. I thought it was way off, but it makes sense when you show it. That was the big feet, big hands.
Oh, good. Yeah. I didn't even do the big hands. Dang it.
Oh, you did the big feet, though.
Yeah.
I think that's extrapolatable.
I think so.
Is that a word? Extrapolatable?
Extrapable.
You
yeah.
can't even say it.
No. If it's not the word, I sure don't know what the word is.
Well, we're going to go with it. And if not, put it in Meredith's dictionary. Barbarian says, Meredith, could you ask Dave to add Frazetta's Death Dealer on the list?
Oh, done.
Awesome. Adding that to the list. And then Jerry Lang. Hey, Jerry has a super chat for $5.
And Jerry Lang. We didn't mention. See, this is where.
We can't. This is why I don't name names.
Yeah.
Because you can never name everybody that you love. 2 more artist recommendations from Jerry. I've been studying their work. Doug Wildey.
Uh-huh.
Doug Wildey. 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 Crestor and designer of Johnny Quest. And Alex Toth, another animation giant. Johnny Quest.
The question is it Alex Toth or is it Alex Toth? Because I've heard it both ways. And it seems like most people in the know, as far as I know, say Toth.
Well, I say Toth because
it looks like Toth.
It's Toth.
I know it looks like Toth,
that says Toth. So,
but I do think it's actually Toth
until Alex himself tells me I'm wrong.
Well, Alex,
and I've heard you say Travis Charest.
Alex has passed away.
Oh, so there you go. I'll say it how I want to say it.
Wow, come on.
You called Travis Charest, and it's Charest.
I know.
So I'm not taking pronunciation advice.
Okay, so we all worked with Travis at Image. You know, his desk was right beside mine for quite a while. And well, I say quite a while. It wasn't actually that long in the grand scheme of things, I guess. But, you know, felt like a while because I was just starting. And everybody called him Charest. And
that's because he was in the States.
He was in the States. And I'm sure that when he goes to, you know, he talks to people from home, they say Charest. He didn't even fight it. He's like,
no, because he's in the States.
Yep.
All right. Solstice art, $5. Do you ever draw larger than 11 by 17? Oh, where's my head smacking sound effect?
I don't have one of those. Yeah. Sorry.
If so, how do you scan it? Well, I will answer that question because yes, he does. And I'm the one who scans it. We have an 11 by 17 flatbed scanner. And I want you to envision people 4 11 by 17 pages taped together. That is his version of a double page spread. And it takes multiple scans, but you can put it together, even if you only have a little, like, 8 by, what's a regular page? 8 by 10? If you only have a little 8 by 10 scanner, you can do this, but you do need to have Photoshop because you scan them into Photoshop and then you can rotate them and paste them together. So yes, it's possible to do. Yes, you need to have Photoshop.
Yeah, well, you actually have to do it even for 11 by 17 pages. And as a matter of fact, I
have to do it on my flatbed scanner.
I have a small scanner down here.
You use the 8.5 by 11 scanner.
And so I just have to put them together. And that's for regular. And I do that actually because, like, for things like this, for a lot of things, you know, Meredith is busy, you know, doing different stuff. And I just need something scanned. So I just throw it on the scanner and do it myself. It's quicker than chasing her down for, you know, the weeks that it takes her to get around to something.
Is that a date? Are you digging me
Wait,
right now?
did that sound like a dig?
It sounded like a dig. Who made your dinner tonight? Who does your laundry?
Did the dishes.
Oh, well, I was going to say who cleans your house, but no, that ain't me. That's not me now. All right. So the answer is yes. That's how we scan it.
Yes.
Other Minds, super chat for $10. Other Minds wants to know, when does taking inspiration from an artist cross the line and become plagiarism?
You know, that is actually a really good question. And I've kind of fought with that a few times because, so I would say the best example I could think of most recently for me is I did a Batman cover for a Batman annual. And it's Batman on top of a chimney. Anyway, it's really based on a Mike Mignola cover that he did for Gotham by Gaslight. And I was looking at that, and I look at things all the time, you know, just for some inspiration, just to get otherwise it's easy to draw the same thing over and over. But I really thought, okay, I'm going to look at this, I'll be kind of inspired by it and whatever. By the time I was finished, I realized I had come so close to that cover that I would say it's a swipe. It really is. It was too close. And I think I really should have said after Mike Mignola, and I didn't. Yeah. So to my mind, I feel like I swiped there. Honestly, you know, yeah, I think it was too close. But if you're looking at some, like, for instance, if you're looking at Frank Frazetta and you're drawing a character and you've got, like, you know, this crazy pose, and he's got a pose where that arm is up and the chest and stomach area looks great, I think you could take a good portion of that and be just fine. It's when you take major compositional elements of a picture or an overall figure pose, including detail and lighting, that you run into trouble. You can actually take a pose, change it slightly, and make it your own, and nobody's going to call you out on that. As a matter of fact, everyone does that. It's, you know, this is how you learn, and it's how you draw. It's fine. It's when you take a pose and the lighting and, you know, and details compositional elements can sting you faster than figures even, you know, because it becomes much more obvious. And that's really the mistake I made with that Mike Mignola picture. So yeah, but you know where that exact line is, that's a little tough. I don't really know, and you know it's like one of those you know when you see it, you know. And I think, you know, for anybody familiar with Gotham by Gaslight, if you look at my cover that I did for the annual, you would, I think, agree that it's too close. It's a swipe. I didn't intend to, but it really is.
Okay, sorry.
How do you say you didn't intend to when it's that close, though? You know what I mean? Like,
accidents happen.
It wasn't an accident, though. I was looking at that.
Well, then you
and I've seen artists.
He's a plagiarizer.
There you
Other
go.
Minds, there you go. Comes out. He's a plagiarizer. Charlie Parks, $2. Drawing beanbags pose. This is fantastic. Eureka! So the beanbag worked.
Oh, good.
And I didn't apparently mention Charlie Parks or the Art Jedi in my list as I was listing people.
Oh, so see, yeah, there you go.
I've offended everybody tonight.
That's how
Meredith
it goes.
is banned from the chat.
Yeah. I have learned actually too with, like, I'll do an interview and I'm talking about a writer that I'm working with, and I'm really careful to not say my favorite writer, because yeah, you're going to make every writer you worked with before go, oh, okay.
I can't talk anymore because I'm banned from the chat.
You are?
I banned myself.
All
right.
It's about time.
It should have happened long ago. Thaddeus is a super chat for $3.99. Thaddeus says, hey, David, how do you go about rendering? That feels like a very broad question.
That is a very broad question. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I wish I had an answer that I could give you in okay, so I'm going to give you an answer, and I'm going to do my best, but there's more than one aspect to rendering. So an important thing to, you know, and actually I use this tube. This is a tube, and well, you know, just to make it even more clear. So this is a tube like this, and so here's the bottom of it shadowed. So the form of my tube comes around like this. So any rendering that I do needs to also follow that form. So if I light it from here, I'm going to render around that form and never deviate from that. And it's not realistic to expect that you're going to draw, you know, lines around everything you do so you know exactly where all your rendering goes, but you need to be able to visualize that, and that should be able to come fairly easily with practice. So, you know, for instance, on the side of this car, I want to make sure not to pick up my shape kind of comes here. So if I want to render along the side of the car, it would follow along that. I wouldn't want to just go like this. So that's rule number one for me is I really try to just follow the form. And then I also come out from shadow. So I'll draw my shadow shapes like this, and you'll see me do this actually, hopefully soon. This is taking a little while, and Meredith's going to bulk, but once I get all these, once I get all these shadows in, that's when I start putting in my rendering, and it all comes out of shadow. And the whole idea is to soften my shadow and give it some texture and some depth. And really, I could actually just leave it like this. It'd be a bit of a looser style, and it doesn't need. Which
you should.
Yeah. But I really like the effect of rendering and getting that, that polished kind of look.
Can't help myself.
I know.
I'm gonna be. I told you I took a nap today. I took a nap at 10:30 this morning.
Extra
Who takes
fiery.
a nap in the morning? Who takes a nap in the morning? That's how tired I am. Then I took 2 iron pills because I'm like, clearly I need to bone up on my iron. Are you just rendering now? You're just ignoring me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there something I was supposed to say to that? I don't know.
All right.
Wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't realize that you're waiting for input.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to read stuff. Just reading stuff now.
Okay.
I'm going to read this super chat from Amy Morris for $52.
Wow. Well, thank you, Amy.
Super chatted. Amy says, please wish my hubby Tommy a happy 52nd birthday. I feel like to do that again. A happy 52nd birthday, because it was all caps.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, happy 52nd birthday. That's for Thomas?
For Tommy.
Tommy. Yeah, well, sorry. Tommy.
Tommy had a surprise positive test of that, which cannot be named. We all know. But he's doing very well and should be cleared by Thanksgiving, which we are so grateful for.
Oh, that is
And Amy
great.
says, we love you guys. Please say hi to Patches. So, Amy, we're praying for you guys and for Tommy to have a very speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
And happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Am I allowed to sing it? Happy birthday to Tommy. Happy birthday to Tommy. Happy birthday, 52nd birthday. It's coming soon for Dave. Happy birthday to Tommy. You're not 50 yet, though.
No.
You're not that far away.
48. It's not young. Anyway, nothing else. Not young.
I can sing happy birthday because it's not.
I'm going to shadow it.
It's in the public domain now.
It's always a choice. Todd McFarlane, generally, when he does the cape, doesn't really shadow the inside of the cape. I usually like to shadow the inside of the cape, of any cape that I'm doing. And so I'm going to do that here.
All right. I'm going to read a question that's not a super chat from Arian Jamwal. Arian says, Kenny Wang, can you ask David what he thinks about The Batman by Matt Reeves?
I don't know. I'm sorry to say, I don't know.
All right. And so we don't know Matt Reeves.
Oh, I think Matt Reeves, that's the one with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, though.
Do you want me to Google it?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's right, actually. I don't have any opinion on it except to say that apparently they're working on a Snyder Cut, right? It's going to come out on HBO Max. And it's going to be like a Snyder Cut of the Justice League movie. And if it does well, they're looking at even, I guess there's a Batman TV show they're working on. There might be more Ben Affleck. My favorite Batman, I don't care what you say. What do they say? Don't at me. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was very, very good. So, whatever. But I'm very hopeful for the Robert Pattinson one. Truthfully told, it doesn't look like it's my kind of Batman. But, my kind of Batman hasn't been around since ever. I love the Tim Burton version, but it's still not for me. I love the designs. I love the design of the city and a lot of how that was done. But it got a little bit corny, which not my favorite. And then the Christopher Nolan stuff was incredibly well done, but it was too realistic for me. It looked like Chicago or something. I wasn't thinking, oh, this looks like Gotham City with those cool buildings and the designs. I wish it would have been further that way. He just went for more real, which, hey, it's his approach. And I love the movies and they did phenomenally well. So, I don't think you would care what I think one way or another, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully the new movies, the Robert Pattinson one, will give me everything that I want, but we'll see.
All right. Next super chat comes from Jordan Seward. Jordan, good to have you back on the super chat. Jordan Fist gave us like a little emoji super chat for $3.99 with the fist bump.
Oh, well,
Could have
thank
been
you.
something we said like half an hour ago, but we're gonna still fist bump Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
I'm the worst. I got another super chat from Jordan. And Jordan says it's pronounced Seward, which is how I pronounced it, Jordan.
No, you don't.
He's super.
You wouldn't be saying that if you were pronouncing it right.
How did I pronounce it?
Seward.
Oh, Seward. All right. Seward. Jordan Seward.
There you go.
Now, he super chatted me $2.79, so I'll pronounce it correctly next time. Jordan Seward. That's how I'm pronouncing it from now on.
Yeah.
So there you go. Apology. Oh
You apology.
Apologize. I'm talking too much. I've lost my mind. Mark C is a super chat. I feel so badly. I pronounced Jordan's name wrong. Seward. Mark C, super chat for $10. Mark says, I remember Ascension. Despite whatever you'd done before, that was you putting out artwork that forced you to take notice. And I've been a fan ever since.
Well, thank you really very, very much. Ascension was, when I was on Cyberforce, I was really struggling artistically. And I started kind of getting comfortable and getting my feet under me toward the end of it. But I remember being a huge fan of Travis Drest. I keep talking about. And somebody, Shade, at the studio, and I have a feeling it was Matt Banning, because he was like my guru at the time. You know, he's the one that convinced me to look at Simon Bisley too. And you know, they were my own choices. He said, you know what? If what we're doing, like if what is going on at Top Cow isn't working for you, and look, I love Top Cow, and Mark Silvestri is my teacher, and he's phenomenal. I was struggling to find my own voice, and actually just to get work that I was kind of happy with. I couldn't draw like Mark. I couldn't pull it off. Anyway, yeah, he said, yeah, just go for it. Give it a try. Try some Travis. And I did. And it actually really worked amazingly. Like, I couldn't draw like Travis, which wasn't the goal anyway. I mean, who can? But it brought a lot to what I was doing. And that really came out in Ascension. So issue 1, you really, excuse me, see a lot of Travis influence there. And it's still a big influence in my work to this day. And that all really stemmed from that book. So it was a big moment for me. I got to say, I was talking to Meredith about this, actually. I would love to do like maybe a bit of a show on the channel, talking to artists. Like I was looking at Jim Lee's Punisher War Journal, and his stuff was being laid out by Carl Potts at the time, I think he was also writing it. Anyway, Carl Potts was laying it out. Jim Lee was doing finishes. And there's a real Kevin Nolan influence to his work at the time. So I know he was looking at some Kevin Nolan, or at least I assume, you know. And I think Carl Potts was also influential. Anyway, my point is, I would love to do a show where, you know, I don't know that I could get Jim Lee on there to do it. If I could, I would want to say, so during this period, how influential was Carl Potts to the work you were doing? And what would you say that, you know, is it something that is still part of your work? You know, what were you looking at the time, and what was really sticking? There was a period where you could see more John Byrne in his work. When he was doing Alpha Flight, I could swear you can see some Arthur Adams influence, some Barry Windsor Smith. You know, he's got a range of influences from that period that I think he did incredibly well. And he's got his own, I mean, he had a real style. He has a real style that's his own too, but you can see his influence. And yeah, anyway, I'm going on and on, but I'd love to do a show where
I kind of rambling right now.
Talk to artists about that kind of thing, about, you know, how they started and where their influences came from in a bit more of an in-depth way, you know, and like show pictures that did.
Are we still going on from his comment of Ascension?
Yes.
Okay. Interrupting.
Okay.
Russ, I'm like, where are we right now? You just like took this whole like back road.
I know, this is why.
You started talking.
Could you imagine how bad this show would be if it was just me talking?
I tuned out. I know. You lost me.
I know.
Russ, good thing you're drawing a nice picture. Russ Hicks has a super chat for $5. What are your thoughts on coloring leveled pencils versus ink, Joe Mad style? I already know the answer to this one. Also, thanks for the helpful comments on my art post on your website.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. And thank you for turning in such great stuff. Actually, I've got...
in the super chat.
And yes, in the super chat. I'm not a fan of colors over pencils. And it's something
Hates it.
I do.
It.
And it's something you really don't see anymore. Nobody's really doing it just
especially
because.
when it's colors over his pencils.
Yeah, if you want to avoid inks or having to do the inking stage nowadays, just people just work on the computer. I never see anybody do colors over pencils anymore. That was something that really happened before people started using drawing tablets more. I want to shadow this just a little bit more here. And we're ready to start rendering, if you can believe it. Oh, no, I'm not ready. Almost. Oh, I'm so close now. Let me put this in the camera.
All right. I've been copying and pasting. I'm using Word for everything now. I'm just copying and pasting super chat so I don't lose them.
Okay.
Why did it take me? How many months have we been doing this? How many months?
I don't know.
Too long for me to not have been doing this before. All right. So next super chat comes from Other Minds for $5. Other Minds had a question earlier about taking inspiration from plagiarism.
Yep.
Another Mind says, haha, thanks for the thoughtful answer and grazie, Meredith.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And thank you.
And that was a super chat for $5.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. This is very nice.
And Kevin Mandevil has a super chat for $4.99. Have a great week, Finch family. Got to run, but we will get that Megadeth project going. Hashtags pending. Well, Kevin, you may have long gone because that's how this works.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll see it later on, and we can say thank you.
Hopefully you'll come back and watch, and you can hear our thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kevin.
Grant Strymer has a super chat for $4.99. Grant says, when you first put your pencil on paper, what is your usual thought process in defining a cool pose?
Okay, so there are a couple of things. I think about the character that I'm drawing. Some characters have, like Batman has a symbol on his chest. Generally speaking, I do not like to cover that if I can help it. So that's a factor. And then different characters, like Spider-Man is a character that you can draw. You can draw him really hunched over. You can draw him flying around. But he's a character that you really need to draw at extremes. Like his limbs are all over the place. And, that's just how he moves. Whereas obviously some characters would look ridiculous being drawn that way. So you have to think about the character first. So that's number one. And then once you kind of, if you're drawing Wolverine, I'm not going to keep going on about characters, but you want to make sure that your characters move and feel like themselves. And so that actually brings you a really good amount of the way. And then you also need to think about your overall design for the picture. If you're doing a cover, you're going to have a vertical design. And so drawing your character hunched over means, and you can do that and make it really work, but you're really going to need to make the background work to compensate. So you're going to need to have some big rocks and like whatever it is. You can't just have a little hunched over character in the middle of a picture. So I really think, and especially if I'm drawing a bunch of characters together, I need to make sure that they fit. So I'll have a character bigger in the foreground, hunched over, so I still have room for the characters above.
Do you know Rich Friend is on the stream?
Really?
Say hi to Rich.
Hi, Rich. He says, guessing a size 2 brush. Let's see, Rich.
He says, you guys are terrible at keeping a secret.
It is a size 2 brush. So yeah, there you go. This is a brush that, see, and this is such a shame because Rich is a maestro with this brush. I mean, the things that he can do and the subtlety, like he could do a whole picture and never pick up a different tool. And I think, I don't want to speak for Rich, but I would say he would not just use one tool. It would be foolish to do that because there are just easier ways. And it's, you need to get work done. But yeah, the control he has over this kind of a brush, I could never dream of getting there. And oh, by the way, everyone, Rich has a YouTube channel that you should check out. Just look up, I don't know offhand the name. So, but yeah, just look up Rich Friend YouTube. You'll find it. He's got a lot of great content on there, and he's just a great guy. My inker, for any of you that aren't aware,
on Wonder Woman,
not just Wonder Woman, Batman,
Forever Evil.
Forever Evil. Yeah, quite a few things.
On the
Justice League of America.
What's the Jeff Johns one? Was that Forever Evil?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dave likes Rich.
Yes.
Just so you know, I'm getting the call out tonight on how I pronounce things. So it's Jordan. Jordan, you started this, just so you know. Jordan Seward. And Anthony G has super chatted me $4.99 to tell me, since we're explaining pronunciations, Gee is how his last name is.
And you've been saying what?
It's like the letter G, not Gee.
Oh, and you've been saying
G. G. Still love you, Meredith. Dave Spawn looks awesome.
Oh, poor Anthony. He's been listening to this for months going,
Look, I do my best.
Yep.
And then Alphin, Alphin.
Yes.
Also made a little point to let me know that it's Alphin, not Alpin. Look, people, I'm doing my best.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's good to know that.
Yeah. All right. Artsy Designs has a super chat for $5. Love these streams. And now he's gonna turn up the heat on you, David. Did magic ever get posted? And will this spawn get posted for us aspiring colorists? That's a super chat for $5. He paid $5 to say, get your butt in gear and get freaking magic up there so that he can color it.
Okay, I will post it, and I need to scan this, and so I'll do them both at the same time. And sorry, no, So the answer is no.
Nope.
And to be honest, the problem is
Oh, also, Eric says, are those the names I should ban? I just want people to know Eric actually is the only person who can ban people. I can't actually ban people. I might say it, but I don't have the power to ban anybody. But I do have the power to not read your comments if you tick me off. And let me tell you, there are a few people tonight. Jordan Seward, Anthony G, and Elfin.
Wow.
I don't know. I do want to get people's names right.
Of course.
Being corrected, so. All right.
Oh, you know what? I said I was going to zoom in. Let me zoom in.
Zoom in while I read the next super chat from Mark C for $10.
It's 9:47. I'm finally getting a chance to zoom in a little bit.
I'm going to fall asleep on the couch.
I'm doing my best, right?
I know you are. All right. Mark C is a super chat. Mark wants to know, can you explain this trend of comic artists seemingly afraid to spot blacks and just use line? To me, it leaves an awful lot of decision making about the storytelling in the hands of the colorist.
I think saying afraid to probably unfair because it's a style, and you don't want to say somebody can't do something because they make the choice not to. I do think that a lot of colorists, if you put in a lot of rendering and a lot of shadow, it really limits what a colorist can do. And colorist, if you want more of a painted effect and you have a colorist that does that really well, not putting in shadows and allowing them just to do the lighting entirely themselves can be a beautiful effect. I think it can be really great. So I don't have a problem with it. It's not my favorite style, just because, I'm like an old kind of image sort of, I like all the shadowing and the rendering and that kind of thing, but I think it can really work. So I don't think it's, any kind of a cheat at all. I wouldn't describe it that way.
All right. Was that the answer to, okay, yes. Thaddeus has a super chat for $4.99. Thaddeus says, I'm pretty excited for the Spider-Man 3 news with bringing back the past two actors, aren't you?
Bringing back the past two actors?
They're bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
No kidding.
I think.
Cool.
Am I wrong?
I'll tell you what
the stream.
I'll tell you what I'm excited for. I'm excited for Into the Spider-Verse Part 2. Are they doing that? I don't even know. The problem is I don't keep up on the news, but yeah, I've seen Into the Spider-Verse a million times. I keep saying my youngest. I say Isaac all the time. Isaac, who is 12, for those of you who don't know, he is a huge Miles Morales fan. He's been bugging me to get the Miles Morales PlayStation, and I have the Spider-Man one. I tried to get him to play it months ago. He wouldn't play it, and so I refused to buy him the Miles Morales one because I'm not buying him a game he won't play, And so he just downloaded it. I didn't even have it on the system anymore. He downloaded it today. He's gonna start playing it. If he plays through it and he enjoys it, then I'll get it, and I'll be glad because I'll play it too. But we'll see. Anyway, yeah, that's my favorite Spider-Man now, which I can't believe I would even say because I'm such a huge Spider-Man fan. But that movie, I loved it so much. Such a great character.
So I just want all the people whose names I mispronounced to know that I too, I feel their pain. So I do really actually want to say their names properly because I've been Mary Beth. Because Anthony Gee was like, it's happened all my life. I remember, I think I've even talked about it on the stream, how my bus driver used to call me Mary Beth, and I gave up trying to correct her when I was 5. I didn't say it's Meredith. I just stopped. It's not an easy name like Dave.
Dave is an easy name.
Dave's an easy name. All right. Super chat. I feel like I have to shout it to Nick from Detroit too, because Nick says, Meredith, it's oot and a boot making progress to get a brick of ice cream, eh?
A brick of ice cream?
Yeah, ice cream comes in a brick, like a box of ice cream.
That's what you call it here, a brick?
Oh, like, no. I
understand that it comes in...
I don't think it comes in a box anywhere in the States.
Oh, really?
You open the box and you can cut the ice cream. It all comes in a tub.
Oh, didn't know that.
Super chat from Ian Shea for $4.99. Any tips for organic things in perspective, like clouds and trees? My trees look like telephone poles and too structured or fake, set in rows. Did you freeze with the screen? Are you frozen?
No, I'm moving. I'm thinking.
What are you doing? I'm like,
it was a good question.
What just happened there? I'm like, oh my gosh, he's frozen, people. We broke Dave.
I'm thinking.
Ian is responsible for breaking Dave.
Okay. I'm going to turn this over and do it on the back of this thing. So you mentioned trees and you said they can look like telephone poles. You can draw clouds. Here's a cloud. Here's a cloud. Here's a cloud. And you see this kind of thing, right? And obviously that's a problem. So the easiest, and you know, I knocked my glasses right off my face. I practiced this for years, and I got it something like, eventually you get more of an organic feel, but somebody mentioned, and I can't remember where I saw this, so, you know, apologies to the artist that said this, but I thought it was such a great way to go. So you draw one big, these are the worst cloud. Like, I'm not trying to draw a good cloud, but there's a big one. Now I'm going to draw a medium one, and then I'll draw a small one. And you can see how just that right there has a lot of variation to it, just like that. And so if I draw trees, I could draw, here's a tree, here's a tree, here's a tree. Or I could draw, here's a nice big tree, and then I'll draw, you know, a medium tree here beside it. And then maybe, you know, like if I draw a small tree kind of here. And then another thing to bear in mind is these are kind of evenly spaced. So let me fix that right now. And so I've got my big tree here, my medium tree beside it, and then maybe I'll put my little small tree a little bit closer to that one and actually try and put it on the camera. Man, the worst. I'm off the camera. So these are the worst trees in the world, but you can see how just right there, it has a lot of, it's much more organic because I'm changing up the sizing. And then, you know, maybe I'll draw another big one here and then a small one here and, you know, something here, medium here. So I really try and change up the sizing, and having a big, medium, small is a really good way to go to get things looking naturally much more organic. It's still a feel thing, but that can get you a very long way toward it.
All right. So, you know, sometimes the stream takes on a life of its own.
Okay.
I think we're all aware of this. Sometimes it's the Meredith spanning everybody stream.
Right. Okay. Anyway.
Tonight, it's the pronunciation stream. So, right. Rike Inglaze 123 says, Meredith Finch, just so you know, you're the only one who pronounces my name perfect.
Ah, there you go.
So thank you, Rike. And Page One Comics says, Meredith Finch, by the way, my name is pronounced Jimmy Rayish.
Rayish?
Jimmy.
Rayish?
Rayish. So Dave says it wrong, Jimmy, not me. I just see he says Travis Trest, and I was
it's like, it's not Raya, it's Raya.
Ray. I don't know. Apparently it's Rayish.
He's messing with
Jimmy
you.
Rayish.
He's messing with you.
He's Rayish. He's Jimmy the Rash from now on. Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $5. I don't think I've ever told you this, but your rendition of Lex mourning a dead Bizarro and Forever Evil always makes me cry. He was my monster. Michael, I 100% concur with you. That was the moment I was like, comics could be for me.
Oh, man, that was the moment where I'm like, I never want to read a comic again. I was so upset.
I was like, look how much emotion.
Yeah.
I love Bizarro.
He was my favorite character in that thing.
Him.
I knew, and thank you, Michael, by the way. I knew that he was going to die when the book started because I had talked to Jeff Johns about what he was planning, and so I knew that it was coming. But he wrote him so well and with so much heart. He was such a great character. He was my favorite character in that book by far and away. And I really had it in my head that maybe he was going to change his mind and he wouldn't kill him. And when he did, I didn't want to draw it. Yeah,
it was awful.
I was very upset about it, and I think it showed in the art. It really affected me because I normally I don't want to say I don't care. Of course I care, but that one, yeah, I felt that for sure.
Yeah, it was tough. That was a tough one. By the way, Ken appreciated you shouting him out. Ken,
oh, good. Oh, yeah.
Brother-in-law. All right. Rich Ware says, you get my name right every time, Meredith. Thanks, Rich. Oh,
good to have an easy name, I guess.
It sure is.
Dave. My problem, what my problem is? I'm Dave. Ultimately, you would say I'm Dave, right? But I'm David on everything professionally.
Well, you know when you're David?
When?
David!
Oh, that sounds right.
David!
Yeah. Checks out.
That's when you're Dave. I mean, I do sometimes call you David, but mostly call you Dave.
Yeah.
All right. Hollow Mansion. I know I say this wrong, and people have made fun of it on the stream. I can't say it any other way. It's Hollow Mansion Boo You Too, and I know it's wrong. I don't even care. For $5 super chat. Thanks for zooming in. Helps me greatly. Meredith, just call me Hollow for future reference and draw my Ghost Rider. See, he just said call me Hollow because I know they've talked about it on the stream. I'm butchering that name. It's like a character. So
everybody knows it, and
they just laugh at it when I say it.
What do you do?
I can't help myself. I'm sorry. So I'll call Hollow from now on. Hollow. I want to call him Hollow Man, but that's not right because it's Manjin. But Boo 2. Boo. Maybe it's just Hollow Manjin Boo 2. I don't know. Maybe I should ask Isaac to help me with some of this because he's so up on the manga stuff.
He is.
Everything shivers, but I do appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat to tell me. And thank you for zooming in, David.
Oh yeah, and I heard that. Yeah, I'm glad that it's working. I really, I will say this: having guests has been great, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's taken, a lot of my headspace, and I'm forgetting other things. So that's why I was actually really looking forward to this week. Just I loved having Nick on. I would love to have him on again. I do want to move to more of a interview format.
Yeah, and people would be down on that. An interview is an interview. The stream is a stream.
Yeah. Just because it means that I can actually interact properly with guests too, and without Meredith's interference, I think that'll make for a better interview. You're actually great. You're better than I am. That's for sure.
You go nuts. You interview without me.
Oh man.
Have fun.
I couldn't help it.
I know. I love you. You take all the shots you want. I still love you. You can rub my feet tonight. Everything shivers. $4.99 super chat. Hey, David Meredith, don't have a question. Just wanted to say thank you for these streams. They're the best part of my week. Thank you so much. Everything shivers.
Thank you very much.
But then, so there you go. Thank you so much. And nobody is unbannable because Eric has the power. Mary Beth, Henry Jeremick, he's going to get banned. Mary Beth, can you please ask Dave to show last week's drawing for 5 seconds? Did you finish it? You didn't finish it. Did you finish the feet? No. He didn't finish it.
Oh, no, I finished.
He didn't finish it. I know him too well. He didn't finish it.
Well, and this is another thing where having an editor for YouTube is really going to be a big help for me, because what's happening is I finish this. I go to bed after this because I'm always pretty tired, and you know what? I'm actually wide awake right now, to be honest with you, Meredith. Anyway.
You're wide awake right now?
I'm feeling pretty awake.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get like an hour-long foot rub.
Yeah, oh
Just
yeah.
rub my feet till I fall asleep.
Oh yeah, sure.
Actually,
yeah.
it's like it is a bit Pavlovian for me. I just fall asleep.
Anyway, yeah, I'd like more time to follow through on the things I keep saying I'm going to do, and I keep not doing because I'm just buried. I'm struggling to keep up, and I'm loving doing it. And believe me, like it's not a complaint. It's all good, really. It's great, but I'm definitely having to look at the things that I'm doing that I could get somebody to do, so I can save the time and just better than me. Like So yeah, I like that video just from Dynamite. You see how great that looked?
Mm-hmm.
And I only showed a bit of it, but wow!
Which,
and
don't forget, people, to go and order your cover.
That got done in like, I don't know, an hour. Like I can't believe how fast that is. And I think to myself, like I could do not anywhere near as good as that, and I couldn't. So yeah. Anyway, trying to work out the things that I can, so I can actually do the things that I'm saying that I'm going to do, and then never follow through on because I'm swamped. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you don't, there's not enough of you.
Well, it's getting better.
It's like the Mrs. McCabe, Dr. Seuss was writing about you.
Yep.
We need 23 cents to name all Dave. So Ed, let me know, because it's name pronunciation night, that Meredith is pronounced Ed. But Ed has a last name spelled Eargl. And he clarified that the last name is Ergel. So I will try to remember that. Ed Ergel. It's Meredith's learning the name night. Project Zero, guys, I don't want to upset you, but could you please make a shoulder deltoid tutorial? That connection to the trapezius kills me every time.
Yeah, I think actually that would be great. Yeah. I think that would be a very good tutorial. Something that I can be iffy on at times too, truthfully. And I find this is a problem. I will learn how to draw a particular thing from like one angle, and I get really comfortable with it. But then change the angle, and all of a sudden, I get a little bit lost, And it's just not really actually having learned the form properly. What's happened is I've learned it from an artist, and they just did like this cool kind of a thing. I thought, oh, that looks good. I like it. And so I steal it, but without actually understanding the form as well as I need to. Yeah, that happens. And yeah, I've been doing this job for a long, long time. And, I've done really well with it. I think like it's, I've had books that have done really well. And I mean, I cannot complain. But the fact is, yeah, there are things that I just don't understand as well as I should. There are holes in my knowledge that probably shouldn't be there. Just talking to Robert Marzullo, I learn something every single time I talk to him.
Just like you learn something every single time you talk to me, right?
Yes. Yeah, I said that, didn't I?
You did. You learned how much you love me.
Yep.
All right. Greg L. Come on, you do.
Roll
your eyes. Greg L. Static Art. Meredith. Manjin Buu is a character from Dragon Ball Z. So I told you Isaac would know who this was. You can look up a clip from the series on YouTube to see how it's pronounced. All right. I'll do that. Manjin Buu. I feel like it should be Manjin Buu. That's how it's pronounced. Clearly, that's how it's spelled. That's not how it's pronounced.
Fascinating.
Hey, it's pronunciation night on the stream. Sometimes you should, like, when you post the stream, you need to just put a little note, and it's pronunciation night, or it's Meredith Band's Everybody Night. Right? Mighty Air says, definitely a fun stream. I drew with you and ate Lunchables. Maybe next week it's Lunchable night.
There you go. No. I never have to post it. It just automatically posts.
Yeah, well, you need to modify the title.
But one thing I did think about, like I had Nick on last week, Nick Brucci, president of, and, founder of Dynamite Entertainment. Good friend of mine, a great guy. Top
4 comic publisher in the industry.
Yes.
And honestly, I think quite soon to be top 3. I don't know if if DC is going to be they're like going to the hardcover books now. And when you start just doing books, are you still considered a comic publisher, or when do you segue into like just book publishing?
Look, I don't know. I have no knowledge of anything like that. But one thing I don't want to do is be on here speculating about.
No, I mean, I love comics so much that. Anyway, talking about Nick.
Oh, right. So, yeah, I had him on last week. And if you look at the description, it describes the character. And I don't even mention in the description that I've got Nick on there, which.
See, yeah, you got to do that. Can you modify it?
That's what actually, you know what? I really should.
I think you can modify the title.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. My mic's falling over. Albertina says, Meredith, I think Dave should use the brush more. This looks really good.
Well, thank you. The big reason I stay away from the brush, really, because it does work well, and it's a sable brush. It works. It's actually not bad. I generally don't work at my desk. I work sitting on the couch. I find I'm getting older. I don't like sitting at the desk all the time, and having a jar of ink open, sitting at the couch is asking for trouble, and that trouble has found me before. I don't need that again.
All right, Kevin, super chat from Kevin Brath Hour. Now I'm all like,
wow, this is pronunciation.
I don't know if I said that wrong.
I'm gonna go with yes.
It's Brethaur. Breath Hour.
Okay.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
For $5, Kevin says, "Who has been your favorite colorist that has worked with you?" This is a landmine question.
No, I'm going to say it is a landmine question because I have a few colorists that I absolutely love. And for me to just call out one and say, this is my favorite colorist is a really good way for me to never be able to work with other colorists that I really love. You know, I hate it when writers do that. Like I'm working with a writer or I have worked with a writer and they have an artist they're promoting. And they say, this is the best artist I've ever worked with. I'm like, oh, you know what? That might be true, but man, that hurts. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say this is my favorite colorist, but I am going to say Frank D'Armata, obviously, is absolutely phenomenal. Great guy. Guest on the show a couple weeks ago. I think when I was drawing Kitty Pryde. And again, another guest that I didn't announce in the description. So yeah, Frank D'Armata. I love Tomu over at DC. I think he's absolutely great. And I'm always thrilled when I can get him.
Brad Anderson.
Brad Anderson is great. I've been having trouble getting Brad. He's so busy with so many things. He's a phenomenal.
Walking Dead covers.
That is Dave McCaig, who is absolutely a genius. He is so good, isn't he?
Yep.
Blows me away. So good. I've not really ever had the chance to work with him on other things. So, you know, I'd love to, but I'm very grateful that I got him doing the Walking Dead covers. I think I got him by default because he's doing the interiors. You know what I mean? If it was just the covers, he would say, nah, I'm not working on that guy. I don't know. You know what? I've never even met him. I'm putting words in his mouth.
Peter Retro Palmiotti. Just popping in to say hi. I got a covered ink tomorrow.
Peter
Palmiotti.
Oh, hi. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming and you know, saying hi. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you here.
And now I'm curious because Johnny Cage JP7 says, the day I show up here with my real name, Meredith will break. Oh, yeah? Is that a dare? Maybe I will break. Who knows?
He's got a hard to pronounce name. Is that what he's saying?
Maybe. That might be it.
This is one problem with zooming in is it's very difficult for me to make sure that I'm actually on the screen. So I need to look up and make sure.
Anyway, hey, Dave, did you actually draw Aphrodite 9 or is that someone just imitating your style? He co-created that character.
Designed her. I'm going to say, so Aphrodite 9 is actually not the name, but the character, the concept, and you know the idea behind the book is all actually Joe Benitez. He had this idea. He was already busy working on something else, and I needed an idea to do. And we're talking outside at the studio, and I said, "Oh, I'd love to do it then." And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." He didn't care because honestly, the guy's a genius. He just come up with something new, which he has over the years. So that was his idea entirely. It was his brainchild. I came up with the name. I came up with the design. So it's not like I did nothing there, but. And the designs on the interior and everything, you know. But yeah, so yeah, that was mine. And I never feel right about just saying, oh yeah, Aphrodite totally came up with that. That was Joe Benitez. That was his idea for a character.
Next super chat comes from Jerry Rasco for $5. Jerry says, "Hi guys, love the stream. I've been drawing Steve Ditko's Starman character while watching. What's your favorite Ditko character besides Spidey?" Dave?
If I'm not answering, it's only because...
Well, it's like you're frozen.
No, I'm...
Did I break you tonight?
Here's a problem. I could name you a million characters that Jack Kirby has created.
Okay. You want me to Google Steve Ditko characters? Help you out here?
I think it's too late. Once I can't name them, I've already lost all my credibility.
Steve Ditko.
And I'll bet you there's characters that I'm just assuming are Jack Kirby and they're Steve Ditko. I don't know.
Here we go. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Mr. A, Squirrel Girl, The Question, Dormammu,
Oh, there you
go. Gwen Stacy,
Mysterio,
Ted Cord, Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn, Sandman, Betty Brant, Dr. Otto Octavius, Dr. J. Jonah Jameson, Captain Adam, Mary J. Watson. These are Steve Ditko / created characters.
Could you imagine having that kind of...
Dark Dominion, Spider-Man 2099, Kraven the Hunter, May Parker, Green Goblin, Flash Thompson, Electro. Should I keep going?
Yeah, you know, we all get your point. Yeah, wow. Geez. You know, okay, all in all, I'm gonna have to say Mysterio. And wow, I apologize to every knowledgeable comic fan out there that...
I could just go with the 10 greatest ones. How about the Creeper, Sandman, Squirrel Girl, Blue Beetle. Hold on, I named that one. Shade the Changing Man. Did I already name that one? The Question. Did I say that one already?
You did.
Okay, so there you go. Number 1 is Mr. A. There you go. So, what's your favorite Steve Ditko character, Dave?
Mysterio.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, Jack of Clubs has a super chat. Jack of Clubs, even though it's O apostrophe, has £4.99. Any chance you could mispronounce my name in 3 different ways? Jack O Clubs, Jack O Clubs, Jake. It's not really Jake though. Jack. I mean, Jack is Jack. Did I do a good enough job? He says mispronounce it 3 different ways.
That's
so
what you did, right?
Jack of Clubs.
Oh my. Okay, we're good.
Are we done?
We're done. Not the whole thing, but you know.
How close are you done?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just, you know.
What's the time?
What time is it right now? It's 10:13.
Dave, that's not what I'm asking. You know that.
Oh, how much more time?
Yeah.
I
am getting tired.
I know. 15 minutes.
You know, you get like drunk tired.
Yes.
Tired drunk.
Yes.
Your brain doesn't function.
I do know what you mean. I kind of get that. Like, I don't know if you noticed, I've been a little bit quiet for a bit. You know,
tired too.
I'm actually, I don't know. I'm just.
Henry Jermick's like, listen, Meredith, go. You're awesome. No, Henry, I've got Google on my computer. I'm not awesome at all. I just have Google. Google is awesome.
Yeah, I remember when, you know, smartphones came around and everybody said, yeah, there's the end of every bar argument. No more arguing about stats and things for sports teams.
You have 615 likes tonight. That's fabulous.
Oh, that's great.
And Kenny didn't have to blow anything up.
Wow, that's really great. Thank you, everyone.
Dave, you've drawn Darkness and Batman. Will you ever draw Spawn and Darkness crossover versus Angelus and Angela? This is a question from Michael E. Richard. I think I pronounced that correctly.
I would certainly draw it. Yeah, I would love to draw it. Actually, you know, Darkness. I don't know if we have that one on the list. That would be a lot of fun. one issue about darkness. I haven't drawn them for so many years. It would definitely be a very reference intensive picture for me to do.
Oh, Rike says, Rike English 123 says we just hit a new like record, 626.
Wow, that's
a record?
great.
Amazing. All right, everybody. Dave's getting close to being finished. So if you're watching and you haven't hit the like button, don't give Kenny a heart attack. Hit the like button. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Because when we hit 75,000 subscribers.
Oh, and by the way, 75,000 subscribers is right around the corner. We're within
within just over 1,000.
It was just over 1,000 when I started. I would not be surprised if we are at 1,000 away now.
I don't know.
And yeah, so it's coming right up. I mean, I'm thinking maybe even
not next week, the week after.
I'm actually thinking probably even next week, I would say.
I don't know, 1,000 subscribers.
I don't want to go ahead and I don't want to.
Can we do it? Don't jinx it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to say, oh, it's going to happen, and then it
doesn't.
But anyway, so if it's not this week coming up, it'll be the week after that. I don't want to jinx that either now, you know. Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, when it happens, it happens.
And I think that we will do the same thing that we did the last time, and that will be I will draw a few different head sketches.
Are you sure? Because I've got like a bunch of commissions that need to be done too. I don't want to do anything for the stream. Yeah. Why would we want to reward the people who are here every single week? Week in, week out.
What are we thinking?
So
yeah, and I'll do the same thing. I will make sure this time for any of you that were, and I know that's quite a few of you that were here for 50,000. A bunch of people actually were getting banned, or timed out or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was the bot.
Yeah, I had the chat bot on,
you can get that chat bot. Is the one that gave me the idea to ban people.
Oh, yeah.
Got seriously.
That chatbot will come to your house.
Yeah, it sure will.
So anyway, I'll make sure the settings are set properly so that doesn't happen.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Okay, so as Dave is wrapping up, because you're wrapping up, right?
Meredith, just, bear with me here, will you?
Well, I just was going to talk about, remind people that you have a red Sonia cover that is now on Indiegogo through Dynamite. Remind people about your Batman Catwoman cover that people can order. Is that all in the description?
It's all in the description. That's right.
And also remind people about your Black Bat Friday, this Friday. At 9 p.m. Eastern, they can listen to you and Jason Fabach hanging out.
Yes, and save me from the embarrassment of doing a show where nobody's watching, and then I feel guilty, and the people that are running it are going, "Wow, why do we have this guy on?" So yeah, I would deeply appreciate any of you that can come and watch and hang out with it. I think it'll be really entertaining, but also, yeah, I'd love to have you guys there. Just so we're not doing it alone.
I made your description.
Oh, I didn't put it in the description.
You did not put that.
But I didn't know it.
Indiegogo Projects is there. Your cover comic sketch art is there, but your Bat Friday is not there.
I'll put it in because
it's Mainframe Comics or something like that.
Yes, that sounds right. Anyway, this posts automatically tomorrow morning because I'm going to go to bed when this is done. But tomorrow morning I will open this up and put it in the description if you can give it to me, Meredith. So I'll just bug you about it in the morning. Or just try and remind me. I tell you what's happening right now.
What?
My pen is actually working differently than I'm used to. And I'm realizing it's because I'm at my desk working. So my pen's pointed downwards. I've got a lap board. I'm on the couch and I'm pointing my pen up like this and it drains and they really run out.
So what you're saying is they don't drain when you're working at your table?
No, not this. Like they stay. Like I'm getting more ink out of them easier, which is good and bad. It's good because I'm getting ink out, but it's bad because it's hard for me to get the kind of subtlety that I'm used to getting when the ink is not really coming out. Funny to me.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha. Right.
All right. I'm just looking through the stream. Page One Comics. Jimmy says a shout out to Ross Klein, who I'm a great viewer at Page One Comics and here. And now everybody, is it Fabok? Is it Fabic?
Fabok.
Fabok. Because I only say Fabok, and you know why I say Fabok?
Why?
Because you started saying it that way.
I know, and then
you pollute my brain with your mispronunciation.
Yep.
You dyslexic people. Your mother does it too. So does Isaac. I'm constantly, when he reads, I'm like, nope, this is good. I make that kid read out loud.
Yeah. Every time my mother says Detroit, she says Detroit. She adds a whole syllable in there. I've never heard anybody else ever do that. She does it.
I love your mom. She's the best.
Yeah. Kills me every time. I love it.
Poop dealer. This is my first time missing the stream. So bad like that. I failed the Finch family. Poop dealer. I'm too tired to ban people, so you may come back.
And he's here now. There you go.
Dealer's here. You came in. You weren't late. Dave still got another half hour on this sketch.
Working as fast as I can. I really am too, but it's a bit of an intensive one.
Maybe we can all right, everybody, thanks for coming out. You can see the full sketch along with Henry Jermick's Death's Head 2 next week.
Well, I do like that. If nothing else, I actually have the entire show to draw this. It's coming along far enough now that we're not going to need to.
Well, you got 9 minutes.
All right.
Can we do it in 9 minutes?
See what we can do.
I want to sing the Jeopardy theme song so badly right now. But I can't sing a theme song while you draw. I can't even. I'm going to make up something that already is like a beat to something.
I'm not going to stop drawing even if you start doing that, but I'd really rather you do.
I won't do it. Where's some sound effects? We need some sound effects.
There, rim shot.
That was not an effective sound effect.
No.
Timothy Ryan says, and Timothy, God love you. This is, especially when it's 10:22 and he's saying stuff like this. This is literally the best part of my Monday. I'm at a gig where I turn in a comic to our instructors every week, and this is always the time I get them done and other art stuff.
Oh, that's great.
I'm so glad. I feel like by 10:30, I'm like, oh. Bruno Gerard says, Meredith, can you speak French, please? Je ne parle pas le français.
A petit peu.
No, don't do it, Dave.
That was right, though, right? Can't say it wasn't right.
You don't even speak it a little, so don't say that.
No, but you do.
Oh, no. Je ne parle pas le français. I need an AI to Ross Klein says, Meredith, you need an AI to create a royalty-free song. I do. A new royalty-free song. I'm going to write a song. 1 week. I'm going to write a song.
Yeah, I am thinking I might be sick that week.
That'll be the Meredith ditches Dave stream.
Whoa.
I'm never ditching you, so there. Although you've done a stream on your own, maybe I should teach them how to draw next week.
There you go. Be fun.
Oh, Meredith teaches people how to draw. Let's start with the circle. And then we put in some eyes. All you do to put the eyes in is put your pen on the paper, use a Sharpie, and just hold it. Count to 2. 1, 2. And then lift it up and you have a perfect circle for an eye. Move that Sharpie over, depending on how big your circle is. Put the pen back down on a level space. Oh, I lost my microphone. Count to 2. 1, 2. You've got another eye. Nose and mouth go a similar way.
Okay, please.
Stop. You're just tired. Page One Comics. Meredith Finch. Dave Finch saying Jimmy's a sexy man during last week's stream is now my new ringtone assigned to your number for every time he calls.
There you go. That's awful. He is a sexy man, though.
Yeah.
Can't be denied.
Kenny just said hello. My name. He did not say Mapel. It's not. It's Je m'appelle Kenny. It's not my name. It's IB Kenny. If you're correctly translating French. Je ne parle pas français. Ah. All right. Only because our kids did go to French immersion. So.
Right, and you actually helped them with their work.
A little bit.
No, I mean, I didn't, but I really wouldn't have been able to either. Let's be honest here. I took French all through school, but I also, am a dropout. So that'll tell you how good my French is right there. But as good as my math.
Edward Lee says, Meredith Dave, just wondering, has there been a sales bump in your work since the YouTube channel? Thanks. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I'll let you know when I do my next Kickstarter or when we see how Dave's Red Sunny Kickstarter goes.
Yeah.
Hard to know.
Yeah, it is hard to know. And there are times
it's hard to quantify.
That's right. That's one thing I would say about it is I look at it and I go, okay, I love doing it. I would not want to stop. And that's enough for me right there anyway. So it's like a non-issue. But I think, yeah, in terms of like, is this good for me? Like in terms of my goal, whatever. Tougher to say. I don't know, but I don't care. I love doing it. I'm having a great time with it. I would not want to stop.
Jimmy wants you to. Jimmy says he's feeling insecure. Can you call him, let it ring for a bit, and then hang up? So that his ring.
Right. So, yeah.
Skip Edwards Art. Any news on your creator-owned book yet?
No, not at all. Okay, well, somewhat news.
A page done.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's actually coming along. I kind of things just got so crazy with different things kind of going on. I had a lot of covers and so it stalled for just a little bit. Totally my fault, but I'm really moving through it right now with the goal of actually, having this thing come out. And I am hoping, I will say this, having the YouTube channel, that is one thing that I'm looking forward to being able to come on here and, show some process stuff from it. And, it's not going to be like an Indiegogo or Kickstarter kind of a thing. So I won't be doing like a campaign for it or anything, but I am looking forward to saying, promoting it and talking about it.
You have 687 likes. We're 13 likes away from 700 likes.
That's amazing.
That might be a record.
Wow, that is very great. Very great.
All right. Ayush Ghosh, after that awesome representation of Moon Knight from Sir David, I really want him to do a full Moon Knight comic again. Any chance of you doing Moon Knight again?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't have plans to right now. I'll say that, but yeah, I would love to do it. I would be thrilled. It would come down to, well, there are a few things. Like, obviously, I've got so much stuff going on. It comes down to what Marvel is looking to do with the character and the direction they're looking to go in. And since it's their character, obviously, that's, I can't just say, hey, I want to draw Moon Knight and then, do whatever I want to do. So there's that. And then it's the writer and their vision for the book is obviously an important thing. As much as I am a huge fan of art and I buy comics all the time just for the artwork, truthfully. That's not most readers. They want to actually read a good story, and I would want to be able to provide them with that. So it would come down to the writer too. And yeah, there are a few factors, but yes, I would absolutely love to do it again.
There's an argument on the stream happening right now.
Okay.
As to who was like number 700. You are now at 709.
Wow.
The debate is between 3G.
Yep.
And Jeff, Jevin, Gomez, Chio, Kiet, grade 7A.
Do I get to just vote?
And Kenny Wang, who says, no, I was a 700. But Kenny, nobody can listen to Kenny right now.
No, why not?
Because Kenny was not this. Kenny was the first like.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's your point.
Yeah. Kenny's just stirring the pot.
Right.
Just being a pot stirrer. Cooper McCormick, what's your favorite Spider-Man suit interpretation? Mine is either John Romita or Sam Raimi. You're my favorite Moon Knight artist, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. My favorite Spider-Man interpretation. Okay. I'm gonna say Todd McFarlane because I mean that whole thing just blew me away when that was new. Or I guess it wasn't new when I first saw it because he was already on Spawn. So, but you know, it was newer, and yeah, I'd never seen anything like it. I loved it. I still love it. I'm still very partial to it. I love Joe Mad's take on Spider-Man. Uh, um, Joe Quesada's take is I don't know, maybe even my favorite. You know, like all things being equal. I mean, my biggest Spider-Man influence when I'm drawing Spider-Man is Mark Bagley, and still obviously a huge favorite. So yeah, it's really hard for me to just say, oh, you know, this one or that one. There's just so many versions I really like. I can't easily do that, but yeah, I've got a few. It's tough. Spawn, it's easier. Greg Capullo.
Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $5. Sheldon says, whatever this mystery project is, I will be purchasing it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really, really looking forward to it. You know, finally getting out there and being able to talk about it and, you know, talk about the process that went into it. I've learned so much doing it. Like it's been a real journey for me.
In which way, David, has it been a journey for you?
In the sense that it's very long. I feel like I'm climbing Mountain Doom. It's also in a big way. It's really learning how to ink and getting more comfortable with inking. Because while I had inked before, I had never really done it, you know, day to day as my like default way of working. And now that I'm really working that way, like I basically ink everything. I feel more comfortable inking now than penciling, which is crazy. I never thought I would get there, but I really do. So yeah, it's had a big impact on me. Starting to have to make decisions about what I want to like. I want to detail everything out and have everything really tight. I'm starting to have to go, okay, I'll just need to, you know, move on from that.
It's
tough.
10:32. I'm
really doing my best. I really am. A big thing is the chains. It's just, you know what, this one, because I have not been just sitting around. I don't know if it appears like I'm kind of not working hard on this one. I really am. It's just, it's a tough one. Next week won't be so long. I'm sorry, really. It'll be Ghost Rider with his motorcycle. That won't take long at all.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna sleep on the couch. You can keep talking on the stream.
Oh, don't stop. I'm almost done, Meredith.
Like
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Really? 2 minutes?
I'm not going to use my small pen on this, just because if we do, I really will be here for another 10 minutes anyway.
It's a sketch. It's right.
I think it's actually, I'm kind of liking how this pen is really kind of working for me, and I'm getting a lot of the detail that I want out of it. I'm pretty happy with it, so it's going to be what it is. Like it's not going to be a super fine line sketch, and I don't think it's going to suffer for it.
People don't get excited. It's not going to be Ghost Rider with more chains and fire next week and a motorcycle. That's not going to happen. Anthony G says, Dave, I think this is the most detailed one you've done in one sitting.
Yeah, it might be. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is one I was really motivated to draw. I just really wanted to do it. It's been on my mind all week. Actually, I have to say, I've been looking forward to this all week, like a kid. So.
I don't want to tell you.
You don't want to tell me what?
I'm getting a headache from bacon.
From what?
I can't help it. I get up so early in the morning.
You're getting a headache from what, though?
I don't know. Just sitting on the couch, getting up late. You know when you're really tired?
Yep.
Because the dog wakes me up, right? Like you go downstairs and I'm like, oh, you put the dog out. And then as soon as you go downstairs, he has to go out again. Like,
I know.
He's been quiet all night, but as soon as I get into bed and I'm just about to fall asleep,
yep,
he goes out. He needs to go outside and he starts crying. And then Everett's up pounding on his desk at 5 o'clock in the morning because he doesn't have school until 1.
Right. So he's playing his Fortnite in his tournament.
Which kudos to him. The kid made $375 in a tournament.
Yeah, which is great. You should have heard it. this whole house.
We
What were we doing?
exploding.
Yeah. Anyway, he runs down. I could hear him screaming up there. So I thought, okay, well, he doesn't sound like he's, afraid or angry screaming. So obviously
We knew he would.
So it's the best he's ever done in his game. He plays with, like, they have teams, I guess, right? Anyway, they did really well. So
right.
And apparently he's got a stream on Twitch, which is doing better since he's playing better. People want to see people win. So yeah, good for him, but it sucks at 3:00 in the morning.
All right. Jordan Seward has a super chat for $2.79. Jordan says, I backed Red Sonja and got the Batman.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jordan Seward.
Seward. That's what I said. I always say Seward.
But really, Jordan,
but I think because
thank
of the
you
way
very
I
much.
say
I
it
really
is-
appreciate it.
I slur.
Yeah.
Sheldon Martin, $375 for playing video games. Awesome. Sheldon, do you know how much money he'd make a week if he got a job at a grocery store? Part-time, like every other teenager my age did.
Yeah.
Kenny Wang made C-word more like C-word. He made Jordan's name a bad name. Kenny Wang, you're banned. No, I can't ban Kenny. He gets us all the likes. Cooper McCormick, Dave, you should do a live drawing of a Spawn Moon Knight crossover. That'd be so cool. That would be a 2-week thing.
Yeah, it would be 2 weeks, but I'd love to do it. Actually, I think that'd be a lot of fun. And, as this goes along, I'll end up drawing some characters again. Like, I'm thinking, I already did Batman. Does that mean I can never draw Batman on the stream again? I would not want to not be able to draw him again.
No,
So
you can draw it, whatever you want. I know
I want to keep it fresh,
Sure.
but at the same time, like Wolverine. I love Wolverine. I could draw him every week. I'm not going to do that to you guys, but.
Oh, Eric says we've got all the likes we need now. We can ban Kenny.
Wow.
We're at 744 on my screen. I don't know what. Like, that is a record.
Well,
That
is
feels
really
like a record.
great.
Declan Hamill's so nice. He said it's impossible for Dave to do a bad drawing.
Oh, well,
I live
thank
in
you.
this house. It's rare. I'm going to say that.
But it happens.
It
I mean,
does
you could
happen.
attest.
Yeah.
And you could also attest that I have drawings where it's turning out all right, and then I just kill it with,
That's more painting than drawing.
yeah.
You'll have paintings, and I'll come down like, oh my gosh, Dave, that painting looks amazing. And then I come back down, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's destroyed.
what did you do? And then you have to try to retrieve it.
Yes, but I will say, like, if I painted more, the fact that I can make it look good at least for a little bit means that I could get to the point where I could do it more. I could be better.
Yeah, you could.
And I am
It's
actually.
a
I've been.
retirement goal. When we retire, I'll ride horses. You can paint pictures.
Yeah, as if I'm going to retire. Let's all pretend I'm going to retire. All right, I'm going to zoom out of this because it is finished as it's going to get.
And that gives me time to read the last super chat from Gaz for $5. Hope you're still considering Jack Burton as a Monday night sketch.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Let me close my ink before I dump it, because it would be the amount of times I've done that. I zoomed out. It didn't actually really zoom out that far. All right, so this is it. This is my Spawn, which was an absolute blast to do. I had so much fun with this one. I think it turned out okay. I'm pretty happy with it, all in all, considering what a mad dash it was to try and finish in the end. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Really appreciate having you here. Thank you for all the likes. It's crazy. I can't believe we hit, was it 709? You said something? Anyway, a lot. 752. I don't even know what to say. It's really great. You guys have been way too good to us. We really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Sheldon Martin has the last super chat for $5. This is the last super chat, says Sheldon.
Well, thank you, Sheldon. You got in there in the end. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you in the States, and all of you anyway, because everybody needs a holiday.
Corey Adams, next super chat, $2. Draw Lady Gaga from Chromatica. Somebody's always got to get in there on the wire.
There you go. Well, thanks for the super chat. And on that note, we're gonna, and okay, now we're gonna end. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.